The opening weekend of high school football across the mid-state wraps up tonight. It may not be a region game this year, but it is still a massive rivalry. Tullahoma hosting Shelbyville Central on Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals on a Saturday, presented by UA Local 572. I'm Jake Lyman, joined alongside Bruno Reagan. We welcome you in. We'll be joined shortly by the third member of our crew, Sammy Kincaid. Bruno, as you well know, it's been a busy weekend across Middle Tennessee with high school football. What a way to end it between two rivals separated by less than 15 miles.
Absolutely. Unlike the first two games this week, there's going to be an added weather element. There was some rain pregame. There might be some rain during the game. The field's a little wet. My offensive lineman, Hart, is excited to see it.
I'm excited, too. Let's look at our keys to the game for tonight. Looking at Shelbyville Central, they want to stop the run, slow down what is a powerful rushing attack for Tullahoma, while the Wildcats, they want to get the ball in their playmakers' hands.
Absolutely. Look for early first and second down blitzes, anything to try and disrupt. If you can get a first or second down TFL or tackle at the line, it can really set up your defense to get off the field and control time of possession, which will help later in the game with the softening process.
Well, Shelbyville, they may want to stop the run, but they also have a heck of a running back of their own. That's Robert Bailey. Bailey had nearly 1,900 yards last season, 22 touchdowns. He's a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. On our last game of Friday Night Rivals last year, Robert Bailey was our feature back, so close to that 2,000-yard mark. Look for him to try and right that wrong tonight and start this season off on a high note.
Now, Tullahoma, they have a running back of their own who's going to be tough to stop. The reigning region MVP, Marvancy Johnson. He had nearly 1,500 yards last season.
Absolutely, and we're a little bit down south from Nashville this Saturday. Marvancy Johnson is going to be the key for Tullahoma, hosting this game on TV, the region MVP, to lead Tullahoma to the victory for their first game of the season.
Both these teams love to run the ball. Should be a fun one tonight. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan. Now let's check in with the third member of our crew, Sammy Kincaid.
Hey, Jake, for the Bart Durham injury law injury update, let's start out on the Shelbyville Central side of the ball. It's a lengthy list to start the season. Out tonight will be defensive lineman Jaden Nolan. He is out with a torn labrum that he suffered in the preseason. Also out tonight is kicker, safety, wide receiver, Mr. Do It All for them, Jonathan Betzelberger. He is out with a lower back injury. Also out tonight is center Landon Coffey with a sprained knee, as well as running back and defensive lineman LaRon Brown with a high ankle sprain, but he is hopeful to return next week. That's your Bart Durham injury law injury update. Whenever we come back from break, we're going to have a whole lot more for you. Kickoff, coin toss. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
was going to cooperate with us down in Tullahoma. Poured on the field, but it has started to clean up as we get ready for the finale of our triple header on opening weekend here on Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals. The skies have lightened up. It is a beautiful night for football here on this Saturday in South Tennessee. Excited to get going. It's time for our coin toss today, presented by the Tennessee Army National Guard. So Shelbyville, they got to call it as the visitors. See Robert Bailey, one of our featured players in the open. He called it wrong, though. Tullahoma wins the toss. They have deferred to the second half, so that means we are going to see the Shelbyville offense get the ball to start off today, and that high-powered rushing attack led by Bailey along with their quarterback, Stephen Bobo. So excited to see the Golden Eagles offense on the field to start in this rivalry matchup. Shelbyville Central bumped up to 6A this year, so no longer a region game, but there's still a lot of animosity between these two teams. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan up here in the booth. Last year, a 28-27 win by the Golden Eagles out of Shelbyville.
And you got to hope that we get a game that exciting tonight. And it's those out-of-region game rivalries, too. They just hit a little bit different. I mean, back when I was at the SEC and when the East was still a thing at Vanderbilt, we just hated Ole Miss, man. There's just something about these random cross rivalries that get you going. You know, the proximity is still there for these two teams, too.
Yeah, separated by just under 15 miles. So these teams will be looking to start off their season with a rivalry win. Again, Tullahoma will kick off to start off today's game. Chase Dodson, the senior, getting ready to put toe to leather. Tullahoma last season went 6-5, while Shelbyville Central went 12-2. Our opening kickoff is brought to you by Greenway Kia. Coach Kia says every deal's a touchdown. Shop Greenway Kia in Hickory Hollow, Rivergate, or Franklin. GreenwayKiaNashville.com. See the Tullahoma Wildcats there. This is going to be a game that is decided by defense and the running game. Wildcats getting ready to kick it off. Dodson will kick. Zion Rucker is back deep to return along with Torian Mathis. Rucker, a talented freshman, going to play some cornerback for the Golden Eagles and also their backup quarterback. Dodson ready to go. Swings the right leg. We are underway. Final game of our triple header on Friday Night Rivals. Rucker will watch that one fly over his head, and it'll be a touchback to start off today's game. There is the quarterback for Shelbyville Central, Stephen Bobo. Bobo coming off a strong season for this Shelbyville Central offense. Although they do like to run the ball a lot. He did throw for almost 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. He ran for 10 more scores on the ground and nearly 800 yards.
Good to have a quarterback that can be diverse, especially because you can't just rely on a guy like Robert Bailey, and not just because of the snap count, but when you get into things like the red zone where the field tightens up, every option you have offensively just adds an extra layer that a defense has to prepare for, and that can open it up for your big-time players.
Bobo the junior in the shotgun as we get set for the first play from scrimmage. Takes the snap. It's a handoff to Bailey. Able to push forward for about a yard. It'll bring up 2nd and 9. There's the starters for Shelbyville, brought to you by BMC Metalworks. BMC Metalworks is an industry leader in CNC machining and steel fabrication services and celebrating over 50 years of excellence. You look at Bailey and Bobo in the backfield. If they do put the ball in the air, Jack Condit, the former basketball player, is the guy to watch out on the outside.
With the field conditions, you have to imagine Shelbyville is going to try and establish the run even with a 2nd and 9 situation. But there is an empty backfield. Be interested to see if they bring anybody in from the spread formation.
They do spread it out. Bobo takes the snap. Rolls near side. The southpaw chased on the run. He just gets it off. Nice play there by Will Hyden, the senior, chasing him down from behind, causes the errant throw.
You could see the Tullahoma sideline with Bobo rolling out. There was a potential for intentional grounding when you're outside of the pocket. As we take a look at the Tullahoma defense, Jake, take it away.
Yeah, Will Hayden just made the play right there. He's one to watch off the edge. Elijah Horton, a senior leader in the middle for this team. And you see Bobo on the screen there at strong safety. That is actually Steven's cousin. So we've got a family affair tonight between Tullahoma and Shelbyville Central. Cousins playing against each other. I'm sure Sam will be trying to get a pick off of his cousin from just up north.
That's so awesome. I hope they have Thanksgivings together where they constantly chirp about this stuff. That would be great.
Well, this game used to be played a lot closer to Thanksgiving. At least they've got a couple of months to get over whatever happens here. Officials huddling over on this near sideline. Maybe still a conversation about whether that should be intentional grounding.
Yeah, the Tullahoma sideline erupted off of that throw by Bobo there at the end, because if you're inside of the pocket, that's when you see you're allowed to throw the football up away. But when you saw Bobo roll out of that spread formation, it was by design. If you do not get that to a player or within the range of a player, that is the rule for intentional grounding. So Tullahoma trying to argue for every blade of grass they can.
You see head coach Coy Sisk there. He was the defensive coordinator when Tullahoma won their first state title back in 2021. This is his 12th season overall at the school. He spent 8 as the DC. This is his 4th as the head man for the Wildcats. Trying to see if he could talk the officials into an intentional grounding call. Shelbyville waiting patiently to run their third down play. Oh, and it seems it's a clock issue. So they're sorting that out on the sideline. You can see somebody's on the phone with somebody upstairs trying to figure this out. So worried about the clock. It'll be 3rd and 9. And this is a situation where Tullahoma has to feel comfortable. We talked about how both these teams like to run the ball. You keep these teams behind the chains, you're going to have an opportunity to force the punt team out there.
Absolutely. Well, also, for offensive football, the game complements each other. Your run game will complement your pass will complement your run, right? Keep linebackers on their toes. The way secondaries shift their eyes, it changes everything, but you have to establish one of them. It is unfortunate when you see, okay, we failed at the run, let's go to the pass. You have to establish one, and especially with the weather conditions now, both these teams, they have to establish the run. It's non-negotiable.
We mentioned the rain came through earlier. The field is in good shape, though, it seems. Dried up over the past few hours, and we are ready to get back to action as they figured out the clock. Bobo in the shotgun here on 3rd and 9. Tullahoma shows blitz, and here comes a flag. Somebody may have jumped. That might have been Hayden.
It's going to be interesting what they call here. We'll wait for the official decision to discuss.
After the snap.
And it is a false start.
Number 66 of the defense has a 5-yard penalty remains.
Pump fake from our head official there, and it is on Tullahoma. That's on Silas McGowan, the senior defensive end, and that'll make this a much more palatable 3rd down for Shelbyville. 3rd down and 4. Bobo with Bailey off his right hip. Fakes the handoff. Bobo strung out to the right side, and it's Hayden again. Back-to-back plays for the senior, and he forces the punt.
Tullahoma, the home team, starting out exactly how you want, and getting away from Robert Bailey on the first series is definitely an option. Looks like Bobo rushes out a little too far. There was some backfield pressure to force him out, but he ends up going into the last man on the line of scrimmage right there, forced out by Will Hayden, the senior athlete listed on the team. Great play.
Back to punt, Jackson Them, also the middle linebacker for Shelbyville. Taken in by Zion Jeffrey, and he's thrown backwards just shy of midfield. Flag does come in behind the play, and Them talking to the officials, it looks like it's going to be running into the kicker, and that will not be enough for a 1st down, so I'm wondering if Shelbyville might just let this one go.
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion. You got to remember, for us, not only the players and the coaches, us and the officiating crew, this is week 1 for them too, right?
Correct. Yes. It's a learning experience for everybody this week. And that makes the tackle for loss by Hayden even bigger, because had that been an incomplete pass, it would have been 4th and 4.
Running into the
it is
kicker,
a 1st down.
Number 5 of the
offense
defense.
is
That's a
coming back
5-yard
out, it
penalty.
looks like.
Play 4th down.
For Shelbyville. And actually, no, it'll be the punt unit again. So they will do the punt. Here is the running into the kicker. You can see it there. That was Elijah Alexander, the junior linebacker, who just got a little bit of the swing leg there for them. So it'll make it 4th and 2, and then we'll get ready to send this one away again. Jeffrey back deep at the midfield stripe, and that one will bounce out of bounds. Spotted at the 31, and that's where the Tullahoma offense will start for the first time today. So ends up being a pretty big penalty. Got a 15-yard swing in field position for Tullahoma here. And we'll see the Wildcats offense led by the senior Lucas Reed, 6'2", 190 at quarterback. Now, he's not going to be asked to do a ton for this Tullahoma team. It relies a lot on Marvancy Johnson, but he is a distributor. I think that's exactly what Coy Sisk wants, is just get it in the hands of his playmakers. That was our key to the game for the Wildcats.
And something that they'll tell you a lot in locker rooms, right? If you touch the football every play, you're important. Quarterback and center, you are so important. Your job is undeniably important. So don't think just because there's not a lot of production that it's not important.
Single back set, handoff on the jet sweep. 2-yard gain for Marvancy Johnson. Excuse me, that was Dominic Harris, and we'll see a lot of him as a second running back. There are the Tullahoma starters presented by BMC Metalworks on the offensive side. See another Bobo out there. One of 3 we'll see in this game. The brother of Sam on Tullahoma, and the cousin of Steven, the quarterback for Shelbyville Central. Marvancy Johnson going to be the focal point. 1,500 yards, region MVP last year. Tullahoma getting the play call in. Looks like more confusion with our officials today. Again, as you said, Bruno, it's week 1. Mm-hmm. Everybody's getting their feet under them.
I was surprised. Our last 2 games, they, for the most part, went fairly smoothly, at least with on the field. Right now, this is more of what I expected from week 1. Yeah, clock issues. Anyone here else is a professional lip reader. I'm not a professional, but I can see the time, so they're just trying to make sure that their time, because the officials will always have a clock on them, right? That is what. So if you see it on the scoreboard or on our graphic, that might not always be accurate. The officials have the time. They're trying to communicate that up to the booth and get it right.
Had to figure it out on the first Shelbyville drive. Our clock says 9:58. It looks like our head official trying to get it sorted out before this 2nd and 9.
One of my favorite things also to do as the player is the psychological warfare. Get the referee on our side with some good jokes. I'm not kidding, by the way. I was trying everywhere to win.
It's not a bad idea, especially these long stoppages. You're out there together. See if you can sway a call or two for yourself throughout the game.
Hearts and minds. Yep, there we go. Even more work. Check this out.
Clock has switched by about 5 seconds. We'll see if that was the change they were looking to make, and we can get back underway here. You can see Coy Sisk talking with the line judge here on the near side. Now it's back to 58.
I think we started at 59. So we started at 59.
We went to 54, now back at 58. Maybe they've got it where they want now?
I'm going to take a guess. I think he said
I saw 52. So, yeah, there we go.
Hey, we're reading. Nice work. If you were following us at home and you guessed 52, congrats.
You're a winner. Just 2 minutes in. They rolled the clock, and we are ready with the 2nd and 9. Tullahoma, again, they're going to rely on the run. These 2 teams played last year, and we talked about Robert Bailey, Marvancy Johnson. Both those guys ran for over 100 yards in that game.
Play clock started running. It's getting to 5. We'll see if they can operate.
Reed in the shotgun. Screen pass far side. That's Bobo. Splits some tacklers and falls ahead to the 36-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and medium. Looking at the Shelbyville Central defense, Jackson Them in the middle, going to be a big player for this Golden Eagles team. But look at Cyan Rucker in the back. He is the freshman for this team. I know that Coach Judd Dryden is really excited about his potential.
Sideline warning.
Shelbyville defense, as we get the sideline warning on the Shelbyville sideline. Their entire goal, lock down Marvancy Johnson.
The penalty results in a first down.
And so the sideline warning will give Tullahoma a first down. So instead of 3rd and about 5, new set of downs here for the Wildcats. Shotgun set here for Reed with Johnson to his right. There's the first carry for Johnson, and it's blown dead. Lots of penalties in the early going here. I think this one might be on the offense.
Prior to the snap, false start number 51 of the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's on Cesar Ibarra, the senior right guard. Brings up 1st and 15. Both these teams struggling a little bit to get out of their own way on offense on these first couple of drives.
I think it's just some eagerness. Barra was the puller there on the gap scheme from Tullahoma. So if the puller, his one job is to run down the line of scrimmage and kick out the guy as hard as you can. So I think just chomping a little bit too much of the bit.
So it'll be 1st and 15. Reed looking down the field. Rolls out, throws. It's caught near sideline. And that is Julian Cole. He's up across midfield. It's a first down for Tullahoma, and the Wildcats are in business early on.
We mentioned that we might not see a lot of passing, and right now it's our biggest production. We get some open field, good set of the feet too. Setting your feet when you're in a weathered condition is that's a high level thing to do. All right, Tullahoma, as we can take a look at some of the grass, though the weather element is going to play a huge factor in tonight. If you caught us on our first 2 games this season, there was a lot of cramping. Now there's a lot more humidity. As we get even later into the second quarter, third and fourth quarter, you're going to start to see the physical aspect of football take effect.
Julian Cole on a 23-yard gain took a divot out of the field with his face mask. Handoff Johnson. Defender on his back brings him down. Blake Lee, the junior, was the one to bring him down for maybe a short gain, if that. Tullahoma moving the ball. Converted on the 1st and 15. Haven't seen much from Marvancy Johnson yet. That was his first true carry. He had the one blown back due to a penalty. They'll go wide set here with Reed all alone in the backfield. Reed looking to throw left side. Steps up. Looking to run. May have crossed the line of scrimmage, but he gets it off to Jeffrey. Jeffrey makes a man miss. He jukes back to the middle. He's still on his feet. And finally brought down by Them as he pinballed his way inside the 25-yard line. It's another first down for Tullahoma.
How about that from Reed? Setting the tone for Tullahoma. Our player to watch, obviously, Region MVP Marvancy Johnson, but Reed moving and dealing in the pocket, has good awareness of where he's at. So right on that first hash where he threw about another yard up the field, he would have been over but he has a subtle understanding of where he's at, where his receivers are at, keeping his eyes downfield. Now the change of direction is also going to be huge. If you get in the open field with this grass, it's going to be hard to set. Great job by Tullahoma on that drive.
Zion Jeffrey, the sophomore. Now they're going deep to the end zone. Caden Puff couldn't reel it in. Lad Sparrow in coverage was able to knock it loose. Tullahoma looking for the early score on a deep shot down the right sideline.
Sparrow Jr., the senior corner, check it out, gets that hand right on the ball. Even if you don't make contact with the ball, just getting it into the receiver's eyes, blocking the vision between him and the quarterback in his normal route, that is just enough. I mean, great coverage right on the top, especially not to put on pass interference. Make contact, but don't influence the receiver's movements.
Phenomenal coverage by the 5'10 senior, brings up 2nd and 10. Reed, play fake. Pass deflected and falls mercifully to the turf. Josiah Taylor nearly had the interception. That one intended for Julian Cole.
The junior Cole doing well on this first series, but committed the wide receiver cardinal sin. You cannot tip drill your own ball up in the air, right? That is a recipe for disaster. But as you mentioned, mercifully, as we get a look at Judd Dryden, the Shelbyville Central head coach,
Dryden his 4th year as the head coach, just like Coy Sisk was the defensive coordinator previously. 3rd and 10, Reed into the flats, Johnson nowhere to go, and a gang tackle down at the 25-yard line. Johnson, such a dangerous player with the ball in his hands, but Shelbyville brings a horde of Golden Eagles to bring him down on 3rd down.
There's also a process to it with this weather as we take a look. Also notice the Shelbyville, this is just your normal zone out, fake zone, key fake, and number 2 for Shelbyville getting the first contact as a swarm of Golden Eagles get onto the field. That was Josiah Taylor, the senior.
Chase Dodson out to attempt a field goal from 40 yards. Coach Sisk told us this is right about his range. High snap. Kick is up, and it is good. Dodson able to knock it down from 40 and puts the Wildcats on the board first. Tullahoma strikes with a 40-yard field goal. They've got the early lead in this rivalry matchup.
Takes a couple drives to get into the rhythm.
Yeah. Well, that was also, what's it called? Like 1 minute of game time, 20 minutes on air.
It's like the clock issues. I'm like,
Here's our Bart Durham injury law anthem moment before the game. Great crowd on hand for this opener rivalry matchup, and always important to pay your respects. Great anthem moment again brought to you by Bart Durham Injury Law. Early on here in this Saturday night matchup here on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals presented by UA Local 572. 40-yard field goal from Chase Dodson. Right around the edge of his range. He knocked it through with room to spare. Ends a 46-yard drive by the Wildcats to put the first points on the board.
That's what I love about week one is you kind of never know. We have an assumption. We talk to the coaches as we get a look at Coach Sisk right there. We have an assumption on who's going to be the production, and these offensive coordinators also have their plays dialed up going into the game. But Reed really making a statement on that first drive to get Tullahoma on the board.
Tullahoma takes the early lead, getting ready to kick it off. Another Greenway Kia kickoff. Dodson with the touchback his first time. Rucker and Mathis back deep for Shelbyville Central. This one short of the end zone, took a weird hop, and that one will skip through out the back of the end zone. Another touchback, and the Golden Eagles will start at the 20. There's Stephen Bobo. Very versatile player for this Golden Eagles squad. Nice job by Tullahoma on the first drive. Really were able to set the edge, keep the contain on him, and didn't let him get outside where he can be dangerous running the football.
Both of our backs, Johnson and Bailey, haven't really been seen yet.
Right.
Shelbyville also looking to get something going on offense.
We talk about how good those players are. The opposing teams know how good those players are, and they focused on them all week, really all offseason, getting ready for this one. Bailey split out in the slot. He comes in motion. Bobo fakes the handoff. He was looking deep, now has to sprint out, and he'll reach forward as he goes out of bounds. Short gain on the play for Bobo. That was Avens who knocked him out of bounds.
Yeah, pretty good coverage, and it looks like not a lot of people bit into the Bailey jet sweep fake right there. But it's not a bad job by Bobo either. Remember, it's first down. You just can't finish behind the 6. He gets a solid 4 yards, setting up a 2nd and 6. So opens up your offense as a playbook as you get into 3rd. And probably going to see some Bailey as we also get closer to this first down marker.
2nd and 6. Shotgun. Bobo will hand to Bailey. He's got some space up the left side across the 40, and he's able to outrun a couple of Wildcats before being pushed out of bounds across midfield. There's Robert Bailey, nearly 2,000 yards last season, and he goes for 35 on that one to put the Golden Eagles across midfield for the first time today.
What a hole, and also a pretty intuitive play by number 33, John Stanton right there. He, instead of working up to his lineman, he noticed Bailey in his peripheral, and he stopped and gave him that bigger hole. So a good football play. Whenever you hear someone say a good football play, that means that something didn't go as planned, but you adapted very well. So Bailey finally on the board with an explosive play, and Shelbyville Central crossing midfield.
That play good for a BMC Metalworks first down. And it looks like a timeout here by Shelbyville Central. BMC Metalworks, an industry leader in CNC machining and steel fabrication services, and celebrating over 50 years of excellence. Robert Bailey off and running as Shelbyville Central looks to answer Tullahoma here on Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. Perfect.
Welcome back to Tullahoma High School, where they currently lead Shelbyville Central 3-0. And I'm joined by Staff Sergeant Ken Evans. And thank you so much for your service, first of all. And thank you for joining me tonight. And can you tell me first, how is the Tennessee Army National Guard different from other military branches?
So a lot of branches, they do a lot of things, but nobody's like us, right? So we help with our communities. That is our primary mission. With each state having its own National Guard, we want to help here, and that's pretty cool.
And everyone talks about a lot of different jobs, but what jobs can you have in the Tennessee Army National Guard?
The cool thing is we have over 130 different jobs in National Guard. Not many people know that. And it's really depending on what you're interested in. If you want to work with your hands, we got all different type of hands-on jobs. If you want to go medical career, you want to be a cook, a financial expert, we have the different routes for people.
That's a lot of different options, and the benefits of the military are always great, but what benefits are specific to the Tennessee Army National Guard?
I think one thing that helped me personally is going to being able to pay for your college 100% up to your master's and paying for your trade school. And not having that student loans, that's big. That's huge.
That is huge. That's fantastic. And again, thank you so much for your service, and thank you for joining me, and thank you to the Tennessee Army National Guard for being a sponsor of Friday Night Rivals. Guys, up to you.
Great stuff, Sammy. Always fantastic to hear from the Tennessee Army National Guard. And big thanks to Staff Sergeant Evans for his service. It was great getting to run into him down on the field before the game. Tullahoma leading Shelbyville 3-0, but the Golden Eagles across midfield. Long throw on 1st and 10 is over the head of the intended receiver, Rager Edwards. Brings up 2nd and 10. Big run, 35 yards from Robert Bailey has set up the Golden Eagles across midfield for the first time today. Bobo, the quarterback, still looking to find a rhythm here in game one. Tullahoma's done a nice job of getting him on the run. Here's another handoff to Bailey. Bounces off one tackler, but a host of black jerseys able to bring him down just as he crosses the 40. It'll bring up 3rd and about 7.
You can see the field right where we're playing right now. We take a look at Shelbyville Central, the misdirection they're trying to use to set up Robert Bailey. Everyone's looking at Robert Bailey, so you're going to try and use any sort of eyes you can. You see the jet sweep there, and he gets up the field, but that's great contact there on the line of scrimmage by number 0 for Tullahoma. Will Hayden, the 6'1", 207-pound senior, making contact. And great job by the Tullahoma defense to swarm. I'll tell you what, the first quarter, it's easy to see as a defense how they gang tackle. We'll see if they can keep it up going into the 3rd and 4th.
3rd and 7. Throw left side, incomplete. Bobo was looking for Jack Condit just past the sticks. And now it's decision time for Judd Dryden over on that Shelbyville sideline. Not quite in field goal range. Might be a spot where you want to go for it.
Looks like the offense is staying out. A pretty aggressive decision by Dryden. But what this can do is it also sets the tone for your season early. Like, hey, I trust you guys. Offensive line, I trust you guys. Bobo, I trust you. Bailey, I trust you. Let's get over the sticks, especially in this down and distance. 4th and 7th or 8, I'm thinking punt every day. But the Shelbyville offensive line lining up.
Golden Eagles getting aggressive here, trailing by 3 early on. Trips to the far side. Bobo, pressure coming. Flushed out right, throws it deep downfield. It is intercepted. Tullahoma picks off Bobo, and guess what? It's cousin on cousin crime. Sam intercepts Steven, and the Wildcats will take over inside their own 10.
I just want to mention, as we take a look right here, we get this blitz up the middle. This was 2 plays before, but I just want to mention, if they knock that pass down instead of intercepting it, they start with a lot better field position, so it feels good to intercept. Maybe that had something to do with it too, intercepting your cousin. But
conduct, number 7 of the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. 1st down.
And that'll help with the field position. Jay Whitelow getting called for the unsportsmanlike here.
So we can take a look at the blitz right here. This is the actual play, and we have an untouched Tullahoma defender running out, number 26, forcing Bobo out of the pocket. Corbin Avens right there, the 5'9", 160-pound linebacker, junior, forcing that pass. And again, the penalty helping out with Tullahoma, but that's some game awareness you want to try and practice. I'm sure a coach will mention, because you don't want to not celebrate an interception, but you're also going to say, like, hey, man, we got to learn where we're at, what we're doing.
That is what they refer to as an arm punt there, but I think you might be right. I think the family ties of that may have had something to do with that, as Marvancy Johnson couldn't reel in that low pass from Lucas Reed. I think Sam Bobo, with the opportunity to intercept his cousin, was going to take it no matter what down it was.
Yeah, I would just, if Coach said something to me, I'd be like, sorry, Coach, got to do it. Next one I'll bat down, but for that one, got to do it.
I'll be bringing that football to the Thanksgiving table in a couple of months.
Christmas. Give it to him as a Christmas gift.
That's a good one. Be?
See, I'm a big idea guy.
Sorry, I think you lost this. Wide set here for Tullahoma. 2nd and 10. Pressure comes, screen pass, looking for Johnson. Breaks the initial tackle, but nowhere to go. And it's been a really tough start to the day for Marvancy Johnson. The Golden Eagles have clearly had a plan for number 22.
And I think it was a good play call. You're trying to set him up for a screen, use misdirection, right? But Shelbyville Central, look at the weak side linebacker. They blitz him in on the inside, and if you're an offensive lineman, you're supposed to get out. But that blitz forces them in, and it creates a big body of walls. The offensive lineman, defensive lineman, those are big boys, and Johnson just can't find a hole to get out. Reed can't find a spot to throw it either.
Brings up 3rd and 10. Reed sprints out right, finds a receiver middle of the field, and he's got the first down. It's Bobo. Alex Bobo weaving through traffic, and he's twirled down inside the 40. The Bobo brothers making plays for Tullahoma in this first quarter, and Alex has the Wildcats inside the 40-yard line with a fresh set of downs.
It was a great job by Bobo getting open. Great job by Reed on the pass. But watch number 7 pop on your screen right here. You'll see him at the top with the we call that championship level blocks. All right, you're a receiver. You don't get the ball thrown to you. Well, what do? He turns up and starts blocking, and that forces that into an explosive play. Great job.
Quick pass out to the left. Zion Jeffrey, the shifty sophomore, could not escape the tackle there. The freshman Zion Rucker able to bring him down. Gain of about 4.
You see every skill player, they're all wiping down their hands. Number 2, Zion Jeffrey, the sophomore, trying to get a better grip on the ball.
See the gardens that are growing in their face mask too every time they go to the ground. 2nd and 7. Pistol set. Reed. Play fake, looking deep. Down the sideline, overshot his intended target. Bobo brings up 3rd down and 7 for the Wildcats.
Interesting decisions on offense. Haven't seen too much of Johnson with traditional backfield carry. Not many zones. A lot of the gap schemes they ran early were during that clock mismanagement and penalty situation. So Tullahoma, I think, has kind of gotten away from what they've done well. Reed has really stepped up this game, but 3rd and long, that's what happens when you don't have a rushing attack. A rushing attack.
They've been able to convert 3rd and long once on this drive. Not quite in field goal range yet. 3rd down and 7. Reed looking long once again. Down the middle and incomplete. Again looking for Bobo. Stephen Bobo in the area there along with Josiah Taylor trying to make a diving interception. And now similar decision that we just saw for Shelbyville Central. It's 4th and medium, and you have an opportunity to try and go for it. Looks like Tullahoma keeping the offense on the field.
Something I always love, too, is the players. The players are looking at the sideline. You see them pointing out. Everyone's giving their own signal, right? It's a universal sign for we want to be out here. We want the opportunity. Shelbyville Central, they ended up having the interception on theirs. Let's see if Tullahoma can take advantage of the 4th down conversion. Turnovers, that's one of the number 1 margins of who wins the football game.
4th and 7. Johnson moves into the backfield. He gets the handoff, running on 4th and 7. Johnson found a seam. He's got the first down. And close to the red zone for Tullahoma. A gutsy call there for Coy Sis. 4th and 7. Let's hand it off.
This is why I love football, because you can get and I love the numbers. I love the analytics. It is a human game. And you have a guy like Marvancy Johnson who hasn't had too much success, but you put the ball in his hands, and you can see the Tullahoma offensive line, a lot of white jerseys on the ground, finishing that run. But they will that first down to happen.
Second big conversion for Tullahoma on this drive. Right back to Johnson. A nice stiff arm, but he is pulled down. Chandler Jones, the senior, the one who's able to bring down Johnson for about no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. Tullahoma trying to expand on this early lead.
Tullahoma operating in what I've nicknamed the maroon zone, just a little bit outside of the red of that 20, right? So your play calling starts to come down a little bit. It depends how well prepared you are. You can have new plays open up, but the field shortens a little bit, so it kind of shortens what you can operate with.
Handoff, it's Johnson again. Off the right side, Johnson turns it upfield. He's down close to the 10-yard line, close to another first down. We'll see where they spot it. And they will move the chains, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11 for Tullahoma. Firmly inside the red zone now on another nice Johnson run.
Now, with these weather conditions, the referees, it's hard to get your footing, and I think they're letting a lot of holding go. I wonder if these players can identify that, but I see a lot of jersey pulling from both ends right now, just trying to stay on their feet.
Another BMC Metalworks first down for Tullahoma. Final seconds of the first quarter. Johnson, stutter step, breaks a tackle, and white jersey's able to drop him down, and there's a late flag. Maybe they stopped letting him get away with the holding on that one.
We'll see. It's a holding. There is a potential for a face mask, but it was thrown in the area of offensive holding. Wait for the official call.
Face mask, number 8 of the defense.
It is a face mask.
The distance of the goal remains first down.
Take a look at the middle of your screen right here, a swarm of Shelbyville defenders. And by the way, face mask doesn't just mean face mask. The entire helmet is essentially the face mask penalty call. So they grabbed the back end of that helmet. Good call by the official. It looked like there was an awkward downing right there. So
Chandler Jones gets called for that one. It'll bring up first and goal for Tullahoma. It'll be on the other side of the field, though. We're at the end of the first quarter. The Wildcats up by 3. A chance to make it 10 on the other side here on this Saturday capper of our opening week triple header.
Good job, man.
I was really hoping we would get a low interception today to one of his cousins. I was like, that would be hilarious.
It was hilarious. No, it was good. I'm sure they'll. I'm sure the family's watching. This is funny.
hello, everybody watching at home. Yes, sir. Thank you, you too.
Thank you. Crowd on this Saturday night. Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals presented by UA Local 572. 1 quarter in, Tullahoma with a 3-0 lead, and they are threatening again. It'll be first and goal for the Wildcats. But for the Golden Eagles, a new challenge for Shelbyville Central and head coach Judd Dryden this year, moving up from Region 5A to Region 6A. And this is what their schedule looks like. Lots of tough games there for Shelbyville Central this year after a 12-2 campaign a year ago.
Some ones that pop out to me, you have at Brentwood, Clarksville, who was undefeated in the regular season last season, Ravenwood, definitely a tougher schedule, Hendersonville, Coffee County Central, big lineup.
And you see 6 of their first 7 games on the road. Lots of tough matchups. This is a big one tonight. Rivalry matchup with Tullahoma. The Wildcats threatening to go up 10-0 as they'll have first and goal from the 4-yard line as we return to play here in the second quarter. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid with you. Face mask penalty setting up Tullahoma. There's Johnson. He slips through. He's into the end zone. Marvancy Johnson found a hole and took it in for 6. Tullahoma up 2 scores.
Tullahoma hopping out to a lead early to start off this second quarter.
That's good for another South College touchdown. South College, where dreams find direction.
Take a look at the style of play. It just looks like your normal inside zone, and they'll tell you if you're an offensive lineman on the goal line, finish with your feet in the end zone. A lot of black jerseys in the end zone, and Marvancy Johnson able to pound it in.
Johnson looked like he hit a brick wall at one point. Didn't matter. He powers through into the end zone. Extra point, doinks through. Saw a double doink for the Titans just up north yesterday. Chase Dodson sends it off the left upright and makes it 10-0 Wildcats.
Perhaps a good omen for things to come when you score the doink. If you don't score the doink, it's bad omen. The scoring of the doink, that's a great omen for Tullahoma. I'd be excited.
During the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the UA Local 572 player of the game. UA Local 572, the premier trainer of workers in all aspects of the piping, plumbing, welding, and HVAC industry. Marvancy Johnson with maybe a tick in his column, scoring the first touchdown of the game. Tullahoma, a couple of big conversions on that drive. Here's the scoring summary. Tullahoma goes 11 plays, 93 yards, including that penalty on the interception. And another 4+ minute drive. Tullahoma has really controlled possession throughout this game.
Time of possession is a great thing for running dominant teams. As you get into that third and fourth quarter, those runs that are 4 to 5 yards, those efficient runs, those turn into explosive plays where maybe the one-on-one to the back that is schemed up might bounce off a little bit or lose his footing, or you're going to see a lot of cramps tonight also. Just prepare for that. So the physical aspect is where time of possession matters most.
Here's another Greenway Kia kickoff. Coach Kia says every deal's a touchdown. Shop Greenway Kia in Hickory Hollow, Rivergate, or Franklin. GreenwayKiaNashville.com. Shelbyville Central will take the touchback. Third straight drive for Shelbyville. Will start at their 20. Was able to find a little bit of a rhythm. A long 35-yard run from Robert Bailey last time. Just couldn't get that conversion when they needed it across midfield.
Yeah, Bobo's had his number called a lot, too, to go over the air. But there's just kind of one thing and another that have been messing with Shelbyville's consistency. The offensive line playing well. I think that they have the potential to put it all together. You got to remember, this is game one of hitting someone else, okay? So they watch, who were they watching film of? Tullahoma last season. They just have to make some adjustments, adapt to some things that they're doing.
Handoff left side, that's Torian Mathis. The sophomore with his first carry pushes forward for about 4 yards, maybe 5. Nice first down run from Robert Bailey's understudy.
Shelbyville has shown that they will not shy away with changing up formation. A lot of high school teams love sticking out of 1 or 2 personnels to keep it simple and play fast. Shelbyville will change some things up.
2nd and 5, shotgun snap. Bobo throws across the sticks. It's caught by Whitelow, and he slips out of bounds. That's a first down for Shelbyville, and they move it up just to the 35-yard line.
A lot more confident there from Bobo. You can see the mechanics. Watch, takes the snap, get his eyes on the first read, set the feet, throw. That's something that we lacked in the first quarter, too. Bobo was just a little edgy. He was flushed out of the pocket by some middle linebacker blitzes. But if he can set his feet like that and get protection, they'll have a chance over the air.
Fresh set of downs. Bailey back in the game. He's got another big hole. He's across the first down marker and up towards midfield. They'll spot him at the 47-yard line as Bailey explodes into the open field again.
Take a look at the Shelbyville offensive line. It looks like they're running an inside zone / duo concept. Get bodies, double teams on the defensive linemen, no TFLs, and then make contact with the linebackers. Doesn't have to be pretty. A lot of space from Bailey there, and he's had 2 explosive plays early in the game. It's pretty rare that you have early explosive rushing plays. Maybe it's an omen for what's to come.
That play good for another Bart Durham injury law first down. 1st and 10, just shy of midfield. High snap, another handoff, and here goes Bailey again. This time he slips a tackle. He's still motoring forward and inside the 25. It's the Robert Bailey show for Shelbyville. Back-to-back long runs.
Robert Bailey is a strong human as we take a look. Yep, it looks like a duo concept where it's on the backside it's zone, on the front side it's gap scheme blocking, and Bailey, it creates such wide holes if you're not attacking on the line of scrimmage and setting your position. If you give Bailey a head of steam going into the scheme guy who's usually the stronger free safety, he's going to break that tackle and create a 15-plus yard run.
That one goes for 29. 5 carries, 82 yards for Robert Bailey. Just 2 minutes into the second quarter. He might have some unfinished business not getting to 2,000 last year as a flag comes in. This one might be a false start.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 50 of the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
Tanner Turrentine called for the false start there. Let's send it down to Sammy Kincaid on the field with more on Robert Bailey.
Yeah, he had just some big runs, but he's also a big leader off of the field. Robert Bailey, when he was a 5th grader, Gary Smith was somebody that mentored him. He went to Aiken Elementary, and he was mentored by him. Gary read to him. Now Bailey is doing the same exact thing for 5th graders at his alma mater, his elementary that he went to. And it's just a really special story to really see things come full circle. And Bailey has really brought other guys along with him. Coach told me that it's almost all the guys on the team now go over to Aiken Elementary to give back to the younger kids. So it's a really special story and fun to see him really giving back to his elementary.
Thanks, Sammy. That's awesome. Robert Bailey paying it forward after Gary Smith, who graduated from Shelbyville Central back in 2020. Now he's a senior at UCLA. Mentored Bailey, who is violent in the open field. A stiff arm, and he's out of bounds inside the 10. It is 1st and goal for the Golden Eagles.
Something that is so impressive about Bailey is every aspect of his body is used for the rush. What does that mean? You check out, he switches the ball to the outside, so even if the football's on the inside, there's a much higher chance of it being stripped out. Right before he makes contact, flips it, and then he uses that right hand to create some distance. Football, they always say, it's a game of inches, and Robert Bailey plays so smart and fights for every blade of grass. It's offensive coach's dream to watch.
Another Bart Durham injury law first down. Robert Bailey getting a much-needed rest on the sideline. Here's Stephen Bobo. Read option, just nowhere to go. Brings up 2nd down. See how long they let Robert Bailey sit on that sideline. He's gotten him down here. Sure, he'd love to help punch it in. Stephen Bobo hasn't been able to get much rhythm in the passing game, although did convert a first down with a nice pass to Jay Whitelow earlier in this drive. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line. Bobo gets the snap. Another read option. He plunges forward. Got at least a couple. We'll call it 3 down to the 6. Robert Bailey still on the sideline as we get set for 3rd and goal. Robert Bailey trying to find someone to take the Gatorade bottle so he can get back out on the field.
What a respectful young man. If I was playing, that's going straight to the ground.
Didn't want to throw it.
The individuals of Southern Middle Tennessee, you impress me. Respectful. Everyone's out here tailgating at like 3 p.m. in the rain.
Bailey not out on the field for this 3rd down play. This one's Mathis, and he tried to jump over a pile of bodies, only got 1 or 2, and now it's 4th down. You can bet Robert Bailey's coming back into this game.
Yes, I bet he's in now, and I wonder who's going to get the football.
2nd time the Golden Eagles are going for it on 4th down in this first half. Threw an interception on their last try. Here, 4th and goal from the 4. All eyes going to be on 31 on this play.
And if not him, Bobo. So either Bailey's going to get the ball or he's going to be the main use of misdirection, and Bobo will get his number called. He's also a threat on his feet.
4th and goal from the 4. Handoff. Bailey trying to fight. He won't get there. Tullahoma stands tall near the goal line. The Wildcats get it back on downs.
the senior defensive lineman, number 45, Thomas Anderson, in on the tackle. It looked like he was the read man. We'll take a look on the right side of your screen. Yeah, he was he was supposed to be the one lead block, so he attacked the play on the line of scrimmage. They had a puller in front of Robert Bailey, but Robert Bailey getting, I think, a little too antsy on that one, getting in front of his lead blocker, and makes too much contact in the backfield for him to overcome.
We said all eyes would be on 31. Tullahoma got a group of black jerseys to him, dragged him down at the line of scrimmage, and now the Wildcats with a 10-point lead and the football about halfway through this second quarter. Wildcats will take a timeout before this first down play. 2 huge fourth down stops for the Wildcats so far. The last one led to a long touchdown drive. We'll see if the Wildcats are able to go the length of the field again. They went 93 yards last time. They started their own 4 for this next drive. We'll take a quick look at the Wildcats schedule here. And back-to-back rivalry games to start off the season. No easy ones for the Wildcats. Start with Shelbyville and then the battle for the Coffee Cup coming up next week.
A good balance of home and away, too. A lot of high school teams that get stuck with maybe a massive home advantage early and then a massive home advantage late. Tullahoma has they're fortunate in where they get a good mix-up of switching. In home.
Yeah, we saw Shelbyville had 6 of their first 7 on the road. This one much more balanced for the Wildcats. They'll finish up the season with back-to-back home games, including Columbia Central on Halloween. Wildcats with an early lead here, 10-0. Marvancy Johnson has the only touchdown for the Wildcats. Tullahoma's defense is really, over the last 2 drives, they've had the bend, don't break, although it's a cliche, but that's how they've been able to do it. Shelbyville has moved the ball with long runs by Robert Bailey. Wildcats have yet to give up any points.
A bend, don't break style of defensive football, you would think it would have an advantage here with the current weather conditions, because what it does is it takes advantage of offensive mistakes. You get a lot of plays in, and you might have an interception or throw a double coverage or a sack, but right now Tullahoma operating well.
Backup quarterback Patrick Riddle's in. He hands it off to Marvancy Johnson, who found some space to the outside. Stiff arm thrown at the 30, and he's out of bounds. Johnson seeing what Robert Bailey's doing on the other side and answers right back. A 30-plus yard run on a nice counter play.
Marvancy Johnson, a swarm of white jerseys around him. He takes a quick front step, shifts backward, and then finds the open space with the stiff arm for the explosive play. Tullahoma's sideline also getting a little too amped up. They were warned once again, stand back. It would be really unfortunate to have these explosive plays and have a sideline infraction on them.
Another handoff to Johnson. This one won't go quite as far. 4-yard gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 6. So, again, Patrick Riddle, the junior quarterback, is into the game here. Lucas Reed started the game as the signal caller. See if this is a heavy dose of Marvancy Johnson. He will get the ball again. Slips between 2 defenders, lowers the shoulder. He's got another first down just shy of midfield.
The first down signal for Johnson. Explosive plays are nice. Hey, I'm an offensive lineman. Whenever you see that running back run a little bit farther and take off some plays, hey, I'm excited as anybody. But a consistent football team and long drives, that keeps the ball out of Shelbyville's hands. We're just going under 6 minutes left in this second quarter, and it would be real nice for Tullahoma if they could score and keep Shelbyville's offense off of the field.
Tullahoma does get the ball to start the second half as well, so chance to double up here if they can continue a long drive. Riddle takes the snap. Rolls out left, throws, and what a catch! Alex Bobo reels it in with one hand across the 40, another first down for Tullahoma.
Alex Bobo, our Johnny on the spot to watch tonight. That's not a real award, but it's the one I'm going to give him. He's found the open space and the one-handed grab. A little bit of a flex.
Having a good battle for Bobo of the game between Alex and his brother Sam. Alex has had a couple nice catches. Sam with the interception. 1st and 10, Tullahoma inside the 40 once again. Empty set for Riddle. Into the flats, it's dropped, looking for his tight end, Gavin Seabolt. First time we've called his name today. The senior stands 6'5", 229. That's a big target out there for these Tullahoma quarterbacks.
At the beginning of the first and second quarters, you could see from the operation standpoint the week one woes. Now you're starting to see the physical aspect of week one woes. You're going to start seeing a lot of hands on hips, late adjustments right here. We see 4 defensive linemen run into each other trying to get into their spots.
False start. Cole in motion, and we'll get another false start. As expected early in the season, more pre-snap penalties. We've seen a couple for both sides so far.
Prior to the snap, snapping infraction number 71 of the offense remains second down.
Second down.
Stay tuned for the United States Navy halftime report. We'll highlight this week's Sonic Scholar athletes, have participating school administrator interviews, plus highlights from here and across the nation and more. The United States Navy, forged by the sea. 5 minutes on the dot until we hit halftime. Tullahoma leading by 2 scores and across midfield. 2nd and 15. Handoff off the left side and dragged down inside the 40. Gabriel DeLauder, the sophomore, gets the penalty yardage back and more. It'll bring up 3rd and 9.
Check out the left side of the offensive line. They get a double team on the end man of the line of scrimmage. Is that Alex Bobo in there again, setting? He's setting the edge on the blocking like a vet tight end. Bobo of the game, front runner right now.
Takes a little edge over his brother Sam. We mentioned their cousin Steven, the starting quarterback and free safety for Shelbyville Central. This game is one Bobo short from a year ago, as Steven's older brother William was on the Shelbyville squad. Another handoff to DeLauder on 2nd down, I should say. And he's thrown down. No gain on the play.
4.5 minutes left in our first half. Tullahoma at 2nd and 9. Right about at the 38-yard line. All things considered, Shelbyville will probably be expecting to get at least one more series. We'll get a look at what the 2-minute offense will look like.
And it is 4th down. I thought I was right. I looked over across and saw 2nd down on the sticks and was very confused there. So it is 4th down and 9. And it looks like the punt unit will come out for Tullahoma. First time we've seen the punter today. Guess who it is? It's Alex Bobo back to punt. He does it all. Cyan Rucker, the freshman, back deep to receive for Shelbyville.
Another false start here from Tullahoma.
Gives Bobo a little bit more room.
Not all penalties are created equal. This is one that will not have much of it. Prior to the snap, false start, number 81 of the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Jack and Lovett gets called for that one. So Bobo will back up 5 yards and try it again. Mentioned William Bobo was on the Shelbyville team, graduated last year, now a freshman defensive back at Austin Peay. Alex Bobo with a sky-high punt. This one doesn't go all that far, though. It'll bounce out of bounds just across the 30-yard line. Shelbyville will have decent field position coming back. Tullahoma's got a 10-point lead. The Golden Eagles looking to cut into it before the break.
Tonight's broadcast of Friday Night Rivals can also be seen streaming live on mytv30web.com, Fox 17 Facebook Live, and YouTube. Brought to you by South College, where dreams find direction.
10-0 Tullahoma here on this Saturday night. Final game of our triple header here on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. Shelbyville with a big stop after the Wildcats got across midfield. They'll look to get some points on the board before halftime. Just over 4 minutes left till the break. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid with you. Thanks so much for joining us on your Saturday evening. Rivalry matchup to start off the season. Stephen Bobo takes the snap. Runs off the left side and got a couple before being dragged down.
No need for a sense of urgency yet from Shelbyville Central's offense. You still have a little bit of time, although that clock ticks down a little bit more and more. And it looks like Bobo a little banged up. And
now Bobo going to head off the field, so looks like he might have gotten a little banged up on that play, and we'll see the freshman Cyan Rucker check in at quarterback for the first time. Coach Dryden talked about how excited he is for this young player. He's already starting at cornerback. He's already one of their punt returners. Now he checks in at quarterback after Bobo had to limp to the sideline. He'll hand it off. Torian Mathis dragged down, maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd and 10, clock ticking towards 3 minutes left in the half.
when you get an underclassman in a situation like this, it does shut your offense down just a little bit because you want to make sure, hey, we're going to control. This would be the worst place for Shelbyville to turn the ball over with this amount of time. So you're going to see your typical traditional handoffs.
And contact before the snap. Junior Mares, the senior, bulldozing the center, Ethan McBee. I think this one might be on the defense.
5-yard penalty remains third down.
That'll make this third down a lot easier. Brings up 3rd and 4. And not that they wouldn't run Robert Bailey on 3rd and 9, but I feel pretty safe thinking that they might do it here.
Yeah, well, with what we've seen from this game, they're not scared to run it at any down and distance.
They will throw it here. Rucker rolling out. And his pass just low for Edwards on the near side. Brings up 4th down. Right now the offense staying out on the field as it stands. Coach Dryden's been aggressive so far. He's 0 for 2 on 4th downs at this point.
Illegal formation, 5 in the backfield on the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
So Shelbyville called for an illegal formation. It won't matter. Tullahoma declines the penalty, and now here comes the punt unit. They'll give it back to the Wildcats with just over 2.5 minutes left until halftime. Jackson Them, the punter, also the inside linebacker and a tight end for this team. Shelbyville's typical place kicker and punter, Jonathan Betzelberger, is out tonight. Snap is high, goes way over the head of Them. He's got to pick this one up. He tries to punt it. He won't get it off, and Tullahoma recovers at the 12-yard line. The Wildcats set up with 2.5 to go in the second quarter. Tullahoma taking advantage of the special teams miscue. The Wildcats will have first down in the red zone when we come back.
Taking time out.
Perfect.
All of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful sponsor partners Sonic, Tennessee Army National Guard, South College, Bart Durham Injury Law, Western Kentucky University, BMC Metalworks, Wilson Bank and Trust, Josh Houston and Associates, and UA Local 572, who through their contributions to the program make these games possible for you viewers at home. And we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued support. Shelbyville High School, Tullahoma High School.
Late first half, Tullahoma already with a 2-score lead, and a special teams mistake has the Wildcats inside the 15. High snap just went right over the punter's head.
When that snap goes over and he picks up the football, he is essentially a runner now until he gets in that kicking motion, so you're allowed to hit him.
First down handoff, Marvancy Johnson. He's got the lone touchdown tonight. He shut down on that play, loses a yard, brings up 2nd and 11. Tullahoma in no rush here. They get the ball coming out of halftime as well, so you can punch this in late in the second quarter, get the ball back, a chance to put this one into a real nice place for the Wildcats, looking to start 1-0 on the season.
Also something to consider, you already have great field position. You never want to undersell yourself, but if you do not convert, you still have a chance of that field goal. So play safe with the football, nothing crazy.
The senior Lucas Reed back in the ball game.
Just like
he throws
that.
it left side. It's intercepted. Chandler Jones, the senior, stepped in front of it, reeled it in with one hand, and Shelbyville able to flip it back over. Reed trying to find Johnson there. What a catch from Jones. That could be our stop of the game. During the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game presented by NHTSA. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Paid for by NHTSA. That is a huge stop for Shelbyville. After the punt mistake there from them and the long snapper, they get it right back late in the first half. Robert Bailey, spin cycle across the 15. He'll gain about 3 on first down.
I think that was my first commentator's curse. That one. I feel terrible.
Hey, it happens. The announcer's jinx, it gets all of us at some point. At least you didn't break up a no-hitter or something like that.
You're right. Looks like Shelbyville's just going to operate normally and take this one to halftime. They've lacked consistency, so it's going to be one of those things where they just want to get back and get to communicating.
You were able to save that possession after the mistake on the punt. Last thing you want to do is turn it over again. Bobo, left then right, throws it back over the middle. He's got a man downfield. Ellington Scott inside the 30. And that's Xavier Jordan, actually. What a huge play. Bobo improvising and finds Jordan way downfield.
Bobo deciding to not take it to the halftime, scrambling in the backfield, getting close to the 1 to 2 yard line, throws across his own body, finds Jordan. One man to beat. A good job by Tullahoma tracking him down, but him taking off his own helmet, they're also avoiding a penalty, by the way. Shelbyville knocking on the door with 52 seconds left.
Xavier Jordan makes the catch. Now a handoff to Bailey. Jukes back right, inside the 15. Able to hold on to the ball there as he got down to the 10. Wildcats trying to rake that one out. Under a minute to go. How massive would this be, Bruno, if the Golden Eagles are able to cash in and get this back to a one-score game before halftime?
Football's a game of momentum, and turning over on your own side of the field is one thing. Taking it down the field with 1 minute, that's another.
Bailey again. Got through the shoestring tackle. No one can bring Robert Bailey down. He's into the end zone. Shelbyville on the board late in the first half.
Looks like a potential unsportsmanlike with some contact after the hit here, but Shelbyville will score this. It will not take away the score. Robert Bailey's first touchdown of the season.
Another South College touchdown. South College, where dreams find direction. Robert Bailey might have run over every single Tullahoma defender on this play.
That is true. I can't even tell what the blocking scheme is with what happened with the offensive and defensive lines. A lot of falling, but Robert Bailey saying, I'll do it myself. And a little contact at the end of the play as our officials talk about what's going to happen. I think it was a dead ball foul, an unsportsmanlike shove, so the touchdown should stand no matter what.
Our officials sorting this out. It looks like it will be a personal foul on Shelbyville. And they're asking if they want it on the try or on the ensuing kickoff. So the touchdown will count.
Without a doubt, a coach will want to take this on the extra point try. Considering the weather conditions, it's going to be a hard kick, and when you back it up, the percentages drop drastically rather than take some field with only 25 seconds left.
Right, a big difference between what would be about an 18-yard extra point and an extra point well over 30
After the
yards.
play, personal foul, number 7 of the offense. A 15-yard penalty that will be assessed on the extra point. The touchdown is good.
So Jay Whitelow called for the unnecessary roughness. There's our scoring summary. The long play from Bobo to Jordan sets up a 10-yard run from Robert Bailey. And just when things looked grim for Shelbyville Central, Tullahoma up 10 and inside the 15. An interception, a long throw, and a touchdown run have the Golden Eagles right back in it. Shelbyville will call their second time out here. Jackson Them has to regroup quickly after he was hit pretty hard on that long snap. Now he has to figure out how to hit this long extra point well over 30 yards.
When you have a 2 minutes like we've seen here for these two teams, you have a snap over the long snapper to give them about a 10-yard field on a turnover, and then you force an interception, and then you take it down with 4 plays and only about 30 seconds off of the clock with 50 seconds left when you're a run-first team. That's the human elements of football right there coming into effect. And if I'm a coach, I'm thinking, please get me to halftime as soon as possible so we can try and get back to the middle of our emotional and physical capabilities.
Shelbyville gets on the board. 25 seconds left until halftime. And be sure to stay tuned for the United States Navy halftime report. We'll highlight this week's Sonic Scholar athletes at participating school administrator interviews, plus highlights from here and across the nation, and more. The United States Navy forged by the sea. Our 2 head coaches tonight, both former defensive coordinators at their school, both in their 4th season at the helm of these programs. Last year it was Shelbyville Central who eked out a 1-point win. The Golden Eagles back within 4, and now Jackson Dem with a 35-yard extra point, trying to get the Eagles within 3. Snap is good, kick is blocked, it's loose, and it is picked up by Shelbyville. They'll avoid disaster there, but Shelbyville unable to convert on the extra point. They trail by 4 with just 25 seconds to go till halftime.
Take a look at the right side of the defending at the top of your screen right here. Whenever it gets a little bit farther away, the operation gets just 0.01 second longer. Those options, right, or those, excuse me, those seconds are so precious to the operation of a special teams kick. That allows Tullahoma to get the block. Number 0 for Tullahoma, it appears, to get the block for Shelbyville. And those points can come down to make the difference at the end.
Right. Senior Will Hayden, we've called his name a couple of times today. He got in there and got his hand on the football. And you're right, it flips this where now a field goal from Tullahoma makes this a touchdown game, and Shelbyville couldn't win the game with the touchdown of their own.
Past 2 minutes of this have been a little bit of a circus. Kind of intrigues me for the second half what we're going to see.
Lots of excitement the last couple of minutes. Looked like Tullahoma was all set to make this a 3-score game. The interception from Chandler Jones, the defensive end for Shelbyville, set up the long drive. Robert Bailey gets into the end zone, and now 25 seconds left. Golden Eagles will kick this one off. Tullahoma again does get the ball coming out of the halftime locker room. So would expect maybe they won't be all that aggressive here once they get the ball back, maybe just take a knee and take this one into the locker room. Jackson Them will kick off. Another Greenway Kia kickoff. Ken Shelbyville's typical kicker, Jonathan Betzelberger, unavailable tonight. Them has done this before, but known more for his linebacker play than his kicking ability. Short kick, brought in by Jeffrey on the far sideline. He gets up to the 30 and then is stonewalled there. That was Whitelow who brought him down. So 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line with 15 seconds left in the first half. See if Tullahoma tries to take a shot here. I would guess probably just going to take this to the break.
I would make that same assumption too, but after what we've seen the past 2 minutes, you never know.
Right. We kind of thought the same thing with Shelbyville on their last drive, that they were going to play it conservative, and then Stephen Bobo attempted his best Patrick Mahomes impression. They are in kneel-down formation. It will be a knee from Lucas Reed to take us to the halftime break. Tullahoma has a lead heading to halftime, but have to feel like they could have expanded it much larger. Instead, it's just a 4-point advantage over Shelbyville. Should have a fun second half coming up. Again, Tullahoma going to get the ball after the break. See if Marvancy Johnson and Lucas Reed, as you see right there, can engineer a drive and take advantage after the missed opportunity down in the red zone late in this first half.
See some visible frustration there from Reed on how the last 2 minutes of this quarter played out. Then that's what halftime's good for, right? A lot of people think it's adjustments are on the board, and that happens every now and then. But for the most part, it's emotional and physical re-regulation of what you're thinking and what you're going to do for the game. So this will be good for them to kind of shift through that frustration, because Tullahoma's played well up to this point.
Let's send it down to Tullahoma head coach Coy Sisk. He's waiting with our third member of our crew, Sammy Kincaid.
Coach, a lot of momentum shifts there in the end of the first half. What do you tell your team going into the locker room to get back to where you're doing about 90% of that first half?
Hey, look, we've just got to relax. Hey, it's that first game jitters, and hey, we got to come out and keep executing the way we're doing right now.
And your defense has really held strong majority of the game. So what do you like from your defense that they're going to have to continue to do to keep the lead in the second half?
Well, we've just got to make sure that we're playing fundamental football. And the main thing is being able to align correctly, hey, and then be able to execute our assignment when we're called upon. So, hey, guys are doing a pretty good job of it. Hey, when we mess up, hey, they capitalize, and that's part of football.
Well, good luck in the second half, Coach. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Coach Sisk, and thank you to Josh Houston and Associates. Tullahoma with a lead, but the Golden Eagles fighting back as we head to halftime.
There's something missing. I don't know if it's energy or what.
Well, Coach spoke back to it.
Yes, I remember that. I'll still call you, Coach.
I think it's something they've done with the truck and because we don't hear the crowd noise and stuff. Yeah, we don't hear the crowd noise and stuff. But on the stream, there's the ambience there.
Well, now you'll hear the crowd noise through the window. I actually heard like for a game. Yeah, I know. Once we're supposed to get possession September 5th.
Okay.
But it's all construction projects.
You never know.
I will believe it when the construction foreman tells me, hey, we're ready to get it to you.
Yes.
But until then,
Right.
Stream hears you, Sammy. Just a heads up. There we go.
You're watching the United States Navy Halftime Report. The United States Navy, forged by the sea.
We're proud to present the Sonic Scholar Athlete of the Week. This week's Scholar Athletes are Colton Clardy from Shelbyville Central High School and Thomas Anderson from Tullahoma High School. Colton has a 3.57 GPA, part of the 12 for 12 outreach program, and a volunteer youth camp coach. Thomas is a member of the National Honor Society, a member of the varsity football team, and Tullahoma High School CTE ambassador. These All-Stars are now entered to win a $10,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to our Sonic Athletes of the Week. Live free, eat Sonic.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University.
I'm here with Shelbyville Principal, Coach Charlie Pope, and thank you so much for joining me.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me on this at halftime, and thanks for doing our game tonight.
Absolutely. It's always fun to have you guys on the broadcast, but there's a lot going on at Shelbyville Central. There's a multi-million-dollar project going on with the athletic facilities, right?
Oh yes, ma'am. We have had such a blessing from one of our private corporate folks, Cooper Steel, that's a big company in our community, and they blessed us with. We're close to probably $21 million in so far, and we're not finished. Our football field's getting renovated with state-of-the-art turf. Baseball's going to be next, and softball to follow. And it's such a blessing for our student athletes. We just finished about a $1.7 million weight room. It's all you can say is thank you, and what a blessing it is for our student athletes.
That's fantastic that they'll have those facilities to play on their respective playing surface. And it's not just athletically that your students are getting it done. They're getting it done in the classrooms, too. Y'all were a level 5 school, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am. And as an old coach, I'm competitive in every arena. And our students and our student athletes, our teachers have responded. It's, we're our second year in a row being a level 5 school. And, the state, the metric is from level 1 to level 5. Level 5 is the best you can be. And in Bedford County, actually, and I got to give credit to our other two high schools, all three high schools were level 5 this year. So it's a credit to our central office, our superintendent, assistant superintendent, all the support, and the hard work of our teachers and our kids. It's exciting to watch. In the arena I'm in now, it's exciting to watch those kids excel in the classroom because it shows that what they can do and what our teachers can empower them to do, and that's really cool to watch.
That's fantastic, and congratulations for all the success that you're having at Shelbyville Central, and thank you again for joining me here tonight, and thank you to Western Kentucky for sponsoring this Educator Spotlight. Whenever we come back from break, we're going to have a whole lot more for you, highlights, stats. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University. You're watching the United States Navy Halftime Report. The United States Navy, forged by the sea.
Welcome back to Tullahoma, where I am currently joined by District Superintendent Dr. Katrine Stevens. And thank you so much for joining me tonight and for hosting us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me and for being here. What a great night.
Yes, it is a beautiful night. The rain came earlier and it finally held off for us, so that is fantastic.
And the weather feels great. And right now it happens to be a really good score for us.
Yes, and is there a theme going on with the school year?
Well, you know what? We kicked off our convocation with the song Better Place because TCS is a better place.
And that was going to be my next question for you. What makes Tullahoma a better place?
Our people, our programs, and our partners. Our people, students, teachers, staff, school board members, and families. Our programs, academics, athletics, arts, CTE, and more. And our partners, law enforcement, fire, chamber, businesses, churches, civics. That's what makes us a better place.
I must say, one of the things that I loved most about being here, I saw the fire department sitting up on their fire truck over there, and I was like, this is what high school football is about.
It is wonderful. We are very blessed with a community that comes out and supports the schools in all avenues. We are truly blessed.
That's fantastic. Well, again, thank you so much for hosting us tonight, and good luck to your team tonight.
Thank you so much. Great to see you.
And thank you to Western Kentucky again for this educator spotlight. Whenever we come back from break, we're going to have highlight stats, a whole lot more for you, so stick with us. We'll be right back.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University.
United States Navy halftime report, forged by the sea. Tullahoma with a slim 4-point lead at the break. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid with you from Tullahoma. Let's take a look at how we got here in the first 24 minutes of play. Bruno, it was all Tullahoma. They got on the board first with a field goal, and then they turned some defense into offense later on in the second quarter.
Absolutely. Both of these teams were struggling to try and find some rhythm on offense. Tullahoma does strike first. They will also come out and have the ball coming out in the second half. But we take a look, Steven on Bobo. I believe we're setting up some Bobo on Bobo crime. He's forced outside of the pocket, throws it up into what could be considered triple coverage, and the interception turnover margin in the lead for Tullahoma right now.
His cousin was able to take one away from him. It set up a long touchdown drive. We talked about Marvancy Johnson before the game. He was able to scamper in for the first touchdown of the game.
Marvancy Johnson also getting a little bit of a late start today, but starting to pick it up with some consistency as we shift on to Shelbyville Central and their highlights. Reed, this was a situation where we were starting to get to the lateness of our second quarter, and it sets up a big Bobo pass with this 4-play, 90-something odd drive.
Just as it looked like Tullahoma was going to stretch out the lead, they get the interception, the long pass to Jordan, and who else but Robert Bailey able to cash in for 6. Looking at our halftime stats, Tullahoma with the slim lead. You look at both teams, they've been able to pass it for a little bit. For the most part, they're relying on their run game.
A lot of Shelbyville Central's positive stats come from the last 2 minutes of the second quarter. Could perhaps be a trend that we see going into the second half. The momentum is in their favor, but Tullahoma still holding the 10-6 lead and the turnover margin.
Shelbyville able to get back within 4 at the break. Tullahoma will have the ball coming out of halftime. Each week during halftime of our Friday Night Rivals broadcast, we'll be showcasing outstanding Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals game highlights from across the country. For this special edition, let's check out some of the best plays from the 2024 season.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
He steps up, wants to go for it all up the right side and pulled down at the 20. Inside the 20 again is Katori Marion.
Our lifter guy, a lot of their offense and one block kick deserves another, right? Still loose. Alamo Heights has it, but still not out of bounds. We can get a couple of points here. Another pitch, and they've got room. Miracle on the Mississippi. You got to be kidding me. It's Max Bacon.
Thinks for himself now towards the left sideline, still on his feet, still up. D-Tech closing. Touchdown of the night as Nashville Christian.
Now just going to heave it up, look into the far corner, tipped up in the air, caught by J.J. Bush. Touchdown, Bobcats and Theodore.
This young man coming out to the field right now is Jackson Maynard. He is suffering from Duchenne's syndrome. His family has established the Little Hercules Foundation, which is something that helps the young man and raises awareness for what he is battling all across the country. A lot of points will be scored during the season in games, but none bigger than that one right there. Touchdown, Jackson Maynard.
Getting ready to start the third quarter here in Tullahoma. Wildcats with a 10-6 lead over Shelbyville. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan up here in the booth. Sammy Kincaid on the sidelines. Bruno, it's been a busy weekend for you and our whole crew. This is the third of 3 games on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday night rivals this weekend. Thursday night was a great one. At Green Hill, it was the Hawks who were able to beat Beach in the opener of this 3-game tripleheader.
Yes, sir. Led by quarterback Cannon Burrows. Green Hill was coming off of an undefeated regular season and then an early first-round exit in the 6A playoffs. So what do? They schedule as many of the toughest teams they can find in week 1 and 2 and 3. They were starting off with Beach, who is a traditional 5A power, as they take over and really controlled the game from start to finish, even starting to pull away as we see the final score 38-21. But that didn't tell the whole story because Green Hill was in control the entire game, Beach scoring in some garbage time there.
Green Hill gets the win by 17 to start their season. Then on Friday, we kept it rolling over at MBA taking on Pearl Cone in what is a rematch of a great game from last year. MBA was able to hold on for a win.
Same story. Both offenses struggled to start. For Pearl Cone, their player to watch coming into the game, Omarion Starnes, he was actually in a mission in the first half. It appeared to be some sort of discipline or suspension issue. So MBA gets up early. Omarion Starnes gets back in the game at the second half, gets it a little close, but MBA able to outlast the Pearl Cone resurgence and takes the win at home, 17-14.
Second straight year, that game between those two teams decided by less than 3 points. And here we are tonight looking for another great finish. Tullahoma led by as many as 10. Shelbyville with the late touchdown at the end of the first half to get back within 4, hoping we get another great finish. We mentioned it before. Last year, the game between these two teams was decided by 1 point. We can only hope for something similar tonight.
Just when we thought it looked like Tullahoma was going to go up 16 or 17-0, Shelbyville gets an interception, travels down the field with some explosive plays, and they're right back into it. Currently, our score being 10-6 with 2 minutes left before we start the second half.
Looked like we saw that Tullahoma was going to pull away, but Shelbyville Central gets back within 4, and their head coach, Judd Dryden, is down with Sammy Kincaid on the field right now.
Coach, you were just talking about it, right? As you walked up as first game, there's going to be a lot of mistakes. So what was the message to the team
We're playing with a ton of grit, ton of tenacity. I mean, our defense is continuing to bail our offense out, and just continue to play with that kind of emotion. Keep it under control, but play with that kind of emotion. Mistakes are going to happen. First game, young team, brand new starters all over the place. We just got to settle in, play hard, play fast, do what we can do.
What did you see, though, at the end of the first half whenever you were able to move the ball down the field that you maybe want to capitalize on in this second half?
It goes back, like I said, it goes back to simple mistakes that are being made. It's one guy misses a block or misses the angle for that block. It's a misread, a miscue of some kind, or a dumb penalty. You know, those kind of things are all controllable, and we just got to be in control of those things.
Well, good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sammy Kincaid talking with head coach Judd Dryden in our Coach's Corner, brought to you by Josh Houston and Associates, trying to limit the mistakes in this second half as they hope to come back and beat their crosstown rival in Tullahoma. You see Stephen Bobo right there. He left the game at one point in the first half. He came back, made that great play down the field to Xavier Jordan. Looks like he should be ready to go for the second half.
Yep, there were a few windows of the human elements of football taking over where you're in week 1 and everything you do is 110%. When you're at practice, a lot of people that are watching the broadcast have probably played football at some level. You practice a certain speed, but when you get into game time, it's time to put it all together. And then all of a sudden you're in snap 50, snap 60. The legs start to go away. Maybe you're starting to get into your own head. You're starting to misremember plays that you practice all summer. So it's going to be a battle of who's more resilient, who makes the least amount of mistakes. Right now, Shelbyville has the momentum, Tullahoma holding on to a 4-point lead.
Wildcats about to get the ball back to start the second half. A chance to try and change the tide, as we did see Shelbyville They made one play, and it changed the entire momentum of the game. Chandler Jones with the one-handed interception down in the red zone. Tullahoma can turn it right back if they can get that man going. Marvancy Johnson, he had just over 70 yards in the first half and a touchdown. He's looking to expand on that here in the second half.
Marvancy Johnson has been exactly what Tullahoma needed him to be outside of the mistakes of a unit-specific offense. He has been playing up to his all-region standard, region MVP.
Coach Dryden said earlier this week when he talked to Sammy, he said if you stop Marvancy, you give yourself a chance. So far, Marvancy's had his moments, but they have been able to limit his ability for the game-changing plays like we've seen from Robert Bailey in this game.
Absolutely. Robert Bailey has had more explosive plays and really bailed out the Shelbyville offense at times, along with his quarterback Bobo. But Marvancy Johnson finding a lot of consistency with this Tullahoma offense. We'll see if that can help control the time of possession, and the Shelbyville defense now starting to get a lot of physical wear and tear. Maybe we'll start to see those explosive plays pop off more.
2 quarters left to go. Shelbyville getting set to kick this one away to start off the third quarter. There's Jackson Them. Seemed like everything was going wrong for the Golden Eagles when the snap back on a punt went over his head. Set up Tullahoma with 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Shelbyville was able to make a couple of plays to stay in this game. Them will kick this one deep and get us going in the third quarter. Again, Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid with you on this Saturday evening. Third game in our opening weekend triple header here on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. So glad to have you with us. Looking forward to a fun finish between these two rivals as they start off their 2025 season. Them gets ready to put toe to leather. Another Greenway Kia kickoff. Coach Kia says every deal's a touchdown. Shop Greenway Kia in Hickory Hollow, Rivergate, or Franklin. GreenwayKiaNashville.com. Short kick is taken in at the 35. Won't get much there. That's Sam Bobo, the senior who had the interception earlier in the game. He moves it up close to the 40. Good field position for the Wildcats as they take the field for the first time in the second half.
During our first half, there were a lot of different operation issues from referees and clock management. We have to imagine that the second half, at least from that perspective, will be a lot cleaner, and the boys will have a lot smoother of a playing experience as Tullahoma offense comes out to take the drive.
Marvancy Johnson averaging 7 yards per carry in the first half. He was able to get loose a couple of times. Would expect a heavy dose of Marvancy in the second half. They'll fake the pitch to him this time. Straight up the middle goes Lucas Reed, the quarterback, and he'll get about 3 on the play. Short gain brings up 2nd and 7.
Reed also a threat on the feet when he needs to be. Tullahoma lining up quick.
Reed, the senior, stands 6'2", sends Seabolt in motion, hands off Johnson. Fighting through traffic, gets across the 45, and that'll bring up 3rd and short. Looks like a long 2 left to go for the Wildcats.
It is a long 2, but we're about to cross midfield, and if there's any 4th down potentials, I know that Tullahoma has, on top of Shelbyville, both gone for 4th down and a few turnovers on both sides of the football, but this is a potential 4th down territory.
Both of these coaches have not been shy on 4th down. We've seen both Judd Dryden and Coy Sisk, who you just saw, try and go for it on 4th down. This one 3rd and short. Reed brings Kelly in motion across the formation. Hands off. Johnson has space, has the first down. He's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line of Shelbyville. When in doubt, give it to Marvancy, and he's got Tullahoma across midfield early on in the third quarter.
Great job by Marvancy Johnson splitting the defenders, and I have to imagine himself and Robert Bailey will start to tack on even more totals as the physical aspect. Welcome to week 1 of football in the fall, boys. Actually, I don't even think we are in the fall yet. I still think we're in the summer.
Technically still summer.
The cramps have started.
I think the rain at least brought the heat down, but it's August in Middle Tennessee.
Very
you are
humid.
Still going to get some cramps. Cesar Ibarra, the senior guard, up quickly, and he'll run off to the sideline. Would guess he'll be right back in there shortly. Fresh set of downs for the Wildcats. Marvancy Johnson converts the 3rd and 2.
Tullahoma spreading it out a bit with the trips to the right. Ball lined up in the middle of the field.
Takes the handoff. Reed on the keeper. He's across the 40 and down to the 39-yard line. Nice 6-yard gain on first down. Seen Lucas Reed run the ball a couple of times already on this drive. You can't give it to Marvancy on every play. Used him as a decoy there, and nice gain on first down to stay ahead of the sticks.
It's a great run by Reed, too. Able to get on the half of the sticks here. Marvancy Johnson turning into the lead blocker on that play.
4 wide receiver set in the shotgun. Reed looking to throw. Near side. It's caught, then bobbled, then caught again. Big hit laid by Ladd Sparrow Jr. on the play. Aiden Kelly was the one to catch that one. The senior with great concentration to reel this one in, but he paid for it as Sparrow laid the hit stick.
Tullahoma offensive line getting some good protection here, too. So you have Johnson, who is somewhat still fresh. Now he's trying to develop a passing game, but a lot of Tullahoma players falling early in the second half. Seemed to be initially cramps with some leg work, but making sure it's not more of an injury than we're assuming. I can tell from the heavy breathing. That's trying to get oxygen to the muscles, so it seems to be cramps. I'm good.
Hey, our lip reading comes back again. I think he said, I'm good. Good to see. And Aiden Kelly walking off under his own power. Heck of a catch from Kelly as he had it knocked loose. And it's tough while you're being hit and falling to the ground to still find a way to catch that football. Ended up being a gain of about 1 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 3 for the Wildcats as they run back out to the field.
I will admit, too, both of these teams a little bit of smaller schools than what we're used to, so the depth, also the lack thereof of what we've seen the past 2 days. Another factor here, because in those games before, early fourth quarter is where we saw the cramps. Right now, it's the beginning of the second half, and it's hitting these teams a little bit harder.
Cole in motion. They'll throw it to him on the orbit. Breaks the tackle, gets across the sticks. He's got the first down. Well-designed play, and Cole shows off the wheels to get a fresh set of downs.
Cole had great acceleration, so speed is how fast you can go. Acceleration is how fast you can get faster, and Cole right there taking it. And
Chandler Jones, who had the interception in the first half for Shelbyville, he read that play perfectly, but Cole just too quick, got past him. And it's first down and 10 from the 31 for Tullahoma. Handoff Marvancy Johnson. Turns it upfield. Stays on his feet. Great balance from Johnson. He pushes forward for 8 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd and short.
A lot of space for Marvancy Johnson in the backfield here. Getting a choice of a C to C gap. The front side and the back side, both options for him. And when you're that shifty and a linebacker or defensive back defending it, you get lost in the bodies, and he pops out of nowhere with all that speed and power. It's tough.
Tullahoma churning clock here, moving the football. Reed throws behind his intended receiver, Bobo, and it's incomplete. Chance there on 2nd and short to go to the air. Be 3rd and about 1.5 for Tullahoma as Reed misfires on the pass out to his left. Big play here for Tullahoma. You're right on the edge of field goal range. We saw Dodson make one from 40 to start the scoring in the first quarter. That's right about where you'd be right now, but would love to move the chains again. Johnson in the pistol. Takes the handoff up the middle. He's got the first down, and a stiff arm being held onto by his jersey. He gets away and gets into the end zone. Marvancy Johnson somersaults across the goal line. 2 touchdowns on the day for Johnson, and Tullahoma back up by 2 scores.
You hit someone, they eat it, they look at you. You hit them again, they're a little bit slower to look at you. You hit them again, they fall down. This is the softening process of football. Marvancy Johnson has got 4, 6, 8. Now we're starting to get physical, and it's the softening process where now they're starting to turn into explosive plays. He's getting too much speed and too much space for the Shelbyville defense to take down.
Another South College touchdown. South College, where dreams find direction. PAT blown dead before the snap.
Prior to the snap, ball start number 82 of the kicking team. Replay the try.
That'll back up Tullahoma a couple of yards. Marvancy Johnson now over 100 yards on his day. 2 touchdowns for the senior. We said it coming into the third quarter that Judd Dryden said if you stop Marvancy, you have a chance. Right there, Marvancy finally broke loose for a long touchdown. Dodson on the slightly extended extra point. He just snuck it over the crossbar. Line drive PAT is good, and Tullahoma leads by 11. Marvancy Johnson gets in from 20 yards out, and Tullahoma up 11 earlier in the third.
It's getting ugly out there, and there's a lot of football left. We got 20 minutes left in game time.
Okay, do you know who that is? Because it's... Okay. It has Catherine Stevens on here. I assume that's not who that is, but I'll just say Tullahoma principal. Head of the game, Sammy Kincaid on the sidelines, presenting a check to Tullahoma's principal. Always great to be out here on Friday Night Rivals, and even better this weekend, having 3 games in 3 days to kick off the opening weekend, and that is Principal Greg English of Tullahoma High School with Sammy before the game, and it's been a great game so far. Tullahoma extending the lead. Marvancy Johnson's second touchdown of the game gives the Wildcats a 2-score lead once again, 4 minutes into the second half.
Coming in the halftime, Shelbyville in the last 2 minutes stole all the momentum of this football game. Tullahoma coming out after deferring and receiving the football, taking back the momentum, also getting that extra point. Again, every point matters. Tullahoma missing one. Could come down to the wire.
Right, you look now, and Shelbyville, a touchdown gets you within 4 instead of 3. Could end up playing a roll down the road if the Golden Eagles are able to get back into this one. There is your drive summary. 61 yards after the short kickoff to open up the third quarter, and Johnson scores from 23 yards out. Chase Dodson ready to swing the leg on another Greenway Kia kickoff. Back deep, Rucker and Mathis, they will watch that one fly over their heads. Another touchback, and the Golden Eagles start at the 20-yard line. Shelbyville taking the field. Let's head down to the field as well. Sammy Kincaid has an update to the Bart Durham injury report.
Hey guys, for that Bart Durham injury update, it still looks the same as it started for Shelbyville Central, but you just saw a little bit ago, senior wide receiver Aiden Kelly, he did go down. Good news is he's going to be back out on the field. I saw him getting his right ankle taped up. The trainer said, try it out. And he said, I need a little bit more tape, and so he put a little bit more tape on it, and now he's going to be good to go. So great news for Tullahoma.
Great to hear, Sammy. Aiden Kelly, we tried to do our best lip reading, and looked like he said, "I'm good." Good to hear that that's true, and he should be back out there. Bobo runs it on the first play of the drive. Gets a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Golden Eagles. Tullahoma doing exactly what they wanted to do out of the break. Go right down the field, score a touchdown. Shelbyville had all the momentum heading into halftime. We'll see if they can get it back. Explosive plays have been the name of the game. Long runs from Robert Bailey and the one long throw from Bobo to Xavier Jordan. Here's Bailey again, and he is pulled down from behind. That is Micah Winton, the middle linebacker, who grabbed the shoestrings to get him down for a gain of about 3.
Shelbyville coming out in a 21 personnel to start out their second half. 2 tight ends with 1 back, that being Bailey, and then running a counter scheme where 2 pullers come in to the front side, trying to give him as many bodies as he can in front of him to eventually force his way into some open grass. Efficient run, but still 3rd and short.
3rd and 3 coming up. Bailey to the left of Bobo in the backfield. They'll look to throw. Near side, and some slippage on the route there. That was Jack Condit looking to work his way back towards the football, and really no choice but to punt this one away for Shelbyville. That's not what they wanted to see on that first drive. They got it to a manageable 3rd down, but couldn't move the chains.
You got to imagine, I don't know, I know Bailey's had double-digit attempts at rushing right now, but Tullahoma's going to rely on Marvancy Johnson as we get later into this game. You'd like to see the same thing for Bailey.
Better snap for them, the punter that time. Line drive kick picked up on the run by Jeffrey, and he is thumped out of bounds on the near sideline. He's across midfield. Good starting field position for Tullahoma. They'll look to stretch out this lead. Here at home, it's 17-6 Wildcats. Got it. Yep. Back here on the Tennessee Army National Guard, Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. Tullahoma, an 11-point lead, and they've got the ball back here midway through the 3rd quarter. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid along with you. Fridays at 9:30 or Friday after college football. Don't miss Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. See the biggest plays and unbelievable hits. Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick gives you highlights, scores, and more for high school football games from across the Mid-State. Fridays at 9:30 or Friday after college football. Don't miss Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. Wilson Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor our local schools and student athletes, both on and off the field. Tullahoma back out there on offense, and you see Marvancy Johnson. Over 100 yards on the day and 2 scores. He won't get the ball here. Right up the middle of the defense, inside the 40, and a flag comes in from behind. Think we might be seeing another holding penalty bringing this one back.
It's a good assumption. This is the back judge's entire job. Yep, the official holding call on the offense. That'll be backing up.
Run, holding number 8, the offense. Repeat, first down.
Now for Tullahoma, starting with good field position, that can be a drive killer as it pushes them back behind midfield. 1st and 20 for the Wildcats. Low snap, screen pass, Johnson. Fights through a tackle, now he's got space, into the open field. Marvancy Johnson cuts it back, up the sideline, inside the 10, and into the end zone. Marvancy Johnson, unbelievable. Weaves through the entire Shelbyville defense and scores for the 3rd time today.
A screen action, and it looked like there was a lot of contact early, that this might not be an explosive play, but watch the Tullahoma offense. You see some work down the field by number 9 and number 82. That's Julian Cole and Gavin Seabolt, two offensive players. They're playing just as hard as Marvancy Johnson. It pays off for them.
Tullahoma going for 2, trying to make this a 19-point game, and they do get it in, but there is a flag on the field. Not 100% sure of the numbers here. 17 already is a 3-score game, so not sure what 19 does for you as opposed to 18. But we'll see if this one counts.
Got to remember how close Tullahoma was to missing that extra point, so it could factor in.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 65 of the defense. The 3-point try is good. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
I think you're right there, Bruno. I think with the footing on the field, maybe didn't feel good about sending the kicker back out there. They end up cashing in for 2.
Just looks like a good inside zone. You see the helmet flies off. We'll take a look for the after the play action, maybe some emotional. Yeah, it looks like there was a strike to below the waist of a football player. That's emotions of week 1 getting to it, and you can't hurt your team like that, especially because, hey, this is 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. There's a lot of ball to be played. Can't you put yourself in disadvantageous situations?
A 54-yard catch and run from Marvancy Johnson. Only took 1 play with the penalty, and Johnson scores for the 3rd time today. It was Patrick Riddle, the backup quarterback, who was able to muscle in for the 2-point conversion. Makes it a 19-point Wildcats lead, and they will move the ball up here on the kickoff because of the unsportsmanlike conduct. So Dodson will be kicking this one away from the Shelbyville 45. You wonder what the strategy is here. Do you just boot this one through the back of the end zone, or maybe try and put it into a corner somewhere where you can make Shelbyville start deep in their own territory?
There are a few options from here. If you were down and you wanted to be aggressive, this would be a good chance for an onside, because even if you don't convert it starts with a good field position.
Right.
But with the flow of the game and how Shelbyville has lacked offensive consistency, their first series coming out at halftime just frankly wasn't very impressive. I would just make them cover as much grass as possible.
Dodson looks like he might be lining up for the onside kick here. This one end over end beyond the 30, and a nice job by Shelbyville to just grab that one and go to the ground. That was John Stanton, the senior. Let's take another look at this touchdown. Marvancy Johnson came all the way to the left, back to the hash marks, and then all the way back to the near pylon for a touchdown. Just an unbelievable catch and run for the senior.
And what effort by the Tullahoma offense. That's championship level football, because we've seen a lot of players go down with cramps or whatever, so it's so easy to see your fast guy go out 5 yards in front of you and just kind of let up, but everyone was going down the field to try and find a body, reminiscent of that Marshawn Lynch Seahawks big play, if you can remember. I think Hasselbeck was that quarterback. Maybe I'm showing my age just a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, Saints Seahawks, the Beastquake. Who knows? Maybe that could be our play of the game. Stay tuned into the 4th quarter as we'll select the Tennessee Army National Guard play of the game. I think that one going to be tough to beat based on what we've seen so far. 4-yard gain on the play. Shelbyville trying to answer. Again, like you said, lots of game left here. You're still barely halfway through this 3rd quarter. But Shelbyville, if they're going to get back into this game, likely needs to start now with some points on this drive.
In Tullahoma, they've set up Marv Ancy Johnson, and they're relying on him. It's very easy to tell. It doesn't look like Shelbyville has taken that same path with Bailey.
Bobo looking deep down the sideline. It is caught across midfield. A leaping grab from Rieger Edwards. The junior goes up and snatches it out of the air, and that's the second big passing play for Shelbyville tonight.
Bobo has had an impressive night. Good by Bailey to get in on that six-man rush, six-man protection, and Edwards comes down with an impressive catch on the sideline, able to get the foot down.
Yeah, not a catch on Sundays, but it's a Saturday here on Friday Night Rivals. Edwards gets the one down. Golden Eagles across midfield. Robert Bailey has yet to touch the ball on this drive. He's split out to the far side. Bobo tucks it to the near side. He's able to get the corner up the sideline across the 40. He dives for the first down. It'll be close. I think he came up just short, but we'll bring up 2nd and 1.
Good developing drive here for Shelbyville. Their first down has been super successful. Now we're setting up a 2nd and short. So when you get to 2nd and short, this is my favorite shot down, right? You have 2nd and short, you still have 3rd. Even at this field position, you still have 4th. So this is a good opportunity maybe to take a shot or let Robert Bailey start chipping away. But good job here by Stephen Bobo to get up that field.
Right. This is a perfect opportunity for a little play-action deep shot. Robert Bailey, if you're these linebackers, you can't just stand there when they fake it to Robert Bailey. So we'll see if Shelbyville wants to get aggressive or if they just put it in their workhorse's hands. Bailey to Bobo's left. It is a handoff to Bailey and a great play in the backfield. Elijah Alexander, the junior, came off the edge and tripped up Bailey, and the loss of 1 on the play brings up 3rd and 2. Last time Shelbyville was on the field, they were in a very similar situation. 3rd and short, and instead of handing it to Bailey, they tried to throw it. Ended up being incomplete.
That's exactly how you want to attack gap scheme. That was a pull play there from the Shelbyville offense. Elijah Alexander goes to the point of possession, attacks the footing, just enough to get Bailey off balance.
Handoff Bailey. The black jersey's all over him again. Alexander saying he thinks he's short. It was Hayden and Mayers in there on the tackle, and it'll be very close. I think they're marking him short, 4th and maybe a couple inches.
Robert Bailey giving the signal to the sideline. We want the attempt, and Shelbyville not really with an option with how much they're down. The clock ticking away at the end of this 3rd quarter.
Down 3 scores. Need to convert here. 4th down and short for the Golden Eagles. In the shotgun. Bailey to Bobo's left. Bobo will take it himself. He leaps over the pile, and he's got the first down. Stephen Bobo. No regard for his physical health on that play.
No regard. Yeah, that's the PG version of no regard for himself right here. He posts with the elbow, lands on the helmet, and if that's my quarterback, I'm like, hey, man, never do that again. But you can't tell a warrior not to be a warrior. So big respect. Let's play smart, Bobo. I mean, I'm ear to ear right now. I would fight for that guy as offensive lineman.
That's one of those where his teammates and coaches are saying, we love it. Don't ever do that again. Bobo with a swan dive across the sticks on 4th down. And Shelbyville will take a timeout after that one. Maybe Jed Dryden wants to have that conversation right now with Stephen Bobo. Hey, thanks for getting us the first down. Do not do that.
You look like a professional WWE wrestler out there. Jeff Hardy. Shelbyville. Excuse me, Jake, go ahead.
Stay tuned later in tonight's game as we'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game presented by NHTSA. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Paid for by NHTSA. That would have been a big stop for Tullahoma there. Stephen Bobo. It may only be game 1, but he was playing like everything was on the line right there.
I've only ever seen a full extension a la Superman, and that was the Palomalu over the field. That's the only time in football I've ever seen something like that.
And usually, correct me if I'm wrong, I think coaches teach their players the only time you want to stick the ball out like that is if you're going into the end zone. Because when you put the ball out and you put yourself in harm's way like that, not only injury, but you could also drop the ball and it ends up being a turnover anyway.
Bobo knowing on 4th down, they just need to get that one, so he was going to get it one way or another.
Great atmosphere here in Tullahoma tonight. Fresh set of downs after the conversion. It's a trick play. The Philly special, and Edwards won't throw it. He'll tuck it and run. It'll be a first down anyway. The Shelbyville special. Rieger Edwards, instead of throwing it deep to Stephen Bobo, takes it for a gain of about 15 and a first down for the Golden Eagles.
Bobo moves out into the edge, and he takes the cornerbacks in the secondary out of the play. Right now, Bobo is down the field still acting like there's a pass, and the Tullahoma defense reacts late. Covered a lot of ground there as we're ahead of the 25-yard line for Shelbyville's offense.
Golden Eagles pulling out all the stops late in this game. Rieger Edwards thought he was going to get a chance to show off his arm there, but a smart play, pull it down, take the yards the defense is giving to you, and now the Golden Eagles knocking on the red zone's door. Fakes the handoff, Bobo up the middle, and not much room there. We'll say he got 2.
It is a little strange for a rusher that was close to 2,000 yards last season to not be the bell cow in this certain situation, but still a lot of football left, and Bobo isn't a bad, that's nothing against Stephen Bobo. It's just Robert Bailey had so much production on the season last year.
Bobo, a productive runner. He ran for 750 yards last year, but Bailey ran for 1,900, and he's been very good tonight. They've been using him more as a decoy on this drive. Tight end in motion. High snap. Bailey does get it here. Pokes through and carries some defenders close to the first down marker, and I think they'll give it to him here. It will be a first down. Into the red zone go the Golden Eagles. 1st and 10 from the Tullahoma 13.
A tall task in front for the Shelbyville Central Golden Eagles, offensively and defensively, down 3 scores. So once they punch this in, assuming they do, with the BMC Metalworks first down, they'll have to come out, get a stop against Johnson, who has just been rolling on the second half.
1st and 10. Bobo fakes, and he's pulled down from behind. Will Hyden's had his name called plenty of times today. Came from the backside and was able to get him for a loss of 1.
Hyden, the standout defensive player so far for Tullahoma, from his defensive end outside linebacker position.
Hyden's had a nice game. You see Robert Bailey there, Marvancy Johnson. Make sure to stay tuned during the 4th quarter of tonight's game as we'll be selecting the UA Local 572 player of the game. UA Local 572, the premier trainer of workers in all aspects of the piping, plumbing, welding, and HVAC industry. Shotgun snap, Bobo looking end zone, 1-on-1. It is incomplete. Lot of contact there. Danilo Lukianov, the senior in coverage against Jack Condit, brings up 3rd down. And that takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Tullahoma has expanded their lead. Shelbyville in the red zone, looking to cut back into it.
Give it up for the 12th man.
It's been a fantastic night here in Tullahoma. Perfect way to end our Friday Night Rivals triple header to open up the high school season here in the Mid-State. Tullahoma just 12 minutes away from closing out a season-opening win. But Shelbyville Central is down in the red zone as we start up the fourth quarter. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid with you on this Saturday evening. Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals presented by UA Local 572. Big play to start up the fourth quarter. The Golden Eagles with 3rd and long on the 12-yard line. Bobo keeps it himself, nowhere to go, ripped down in the backfield. Micah Winton getting in from his middle linebacker spot and taking down Bobo for a loss, and really no choice here for Shelbyville other than to go for it.
Shelbyville finding themselves in a rock and a hard place. They are forced to go for essentially every fourth down they have in what you would want to be a rushing spot of the field. Now they're facing 4th and 12 as we get a look at Michael Winton, the senior defensive lineman. Every lineman dreams of making a big play on TV. When your helmet just so happens to fall off and you get the face on it too, that's a win-win.
Got some face time. Bobbled snap on 4th down. Bobo just has to heave it to the end zone. It is caught! Touchdown! Who else but Robert Bailey on the wheel route brings it in. And Shelbyville with a prayer. It's answered early in the 4th to keep them in this game.
Signaling the go for 2 as the Shelbyville offense will stay on the field. We'll take another look at this touchdown. The bobbles. Robert Bailey runs into the snap. A little bit of bobbled by Bobo, but Bobo knows exactly where he should go. If you need a miracle, straight up to Robert Bailey. The fatigue of the game taking over a little bit. Not a lot of celebrating and still a lot of football to climb, but Shelbyville with a chance to cut down the lead even more on this 2-point attempt.
When in doubt, find 31. Bobo with a heave back across his body. Bailey hauls it in. Chance to make it an 11-point game. They'll give it to Bailey again. He's able to work his way through traffic and in to convert the 2-point try. And just like that, Shelbyville back down 2 scores. Still over 11 minutes to go. Long way left in this Saturday night game. As we take a look, Robert Bailey looking like he may have been a little banged up. Snap almost got away from Bobo, but a nice job to find a window.
The right side of that Shelbyville offensive line did a great job as Robert Bailey getting a look on the sideline. Good water in the face.
Bailey makes the catch, then takes in the 2-point conversion with the run. Looks like maybe he lost a contact or something. As somebody who wears contacts, understand that's not very comfortable. 25-14. Tullahoma leading Shelbyville Central. Just underway in the 4th quarter. Going to take a lot of big plays, and there you go. Yeah, great shot from our team. Silas McGowan got a finger underneath the face mask, and it looked like might have poked Bailey in the eye. looks to be okay over there, but that's never fun.
And eye poke it's such a subtle thing, but it's very debilitating. So Robert Bailey is going to have to overcome and use all of that experience to maybe play with one eye open.
He'll hope the defense can get it back to Shelbyville. Still a long way to play. Jackson Them getting ready to tee this one off after a 13-play, 72-yard drive, ending in that fourth down pass from Bobo to Bailey for the touchdown. Jackson Them has it teed up for another Greenway Kia kickoff. Coach Kia says every deal's a touchdown. Shop Greenway Kia in Hickory Hollow, Rivergate, or Franklin. GreenwayKiaNashville.com. They're going for the onside kick. The ball's loose and skips out of bounds. Looked like Condit was there on the hands team, but as you can see where he slipped, maybe didn't have great footing. It bounces out of bounds, and it'll be good field position for Tullahoma early in the fourth.
That flag will be for the ball moving out of the sideline, as Jake mentioned. Yep, the penalty on Shelbyville. Tullahoma will now start with good field position and even a field goal.
Illegal kick out of bounds on the kicking team. It'll be 5-yard penalty from the end of the kick, first down.
So that'll put Tullahoma right at the midfield stripe to start this drive. Not what head coach Judd Dryden envisioned with the onside kick there, but not a bad idea. Maybe can catch Tullahoma off guard.
They did have the players in the area. The field, the turf monster, Ancient, living underneath the field, grabbing a few Shelbyville players.
Tullahoma on the field. First down snap, handoff Marvancy Johnson. Up the middle, hurdles a player and dragged down as he gets across the 40-yard line. Marvancy is a freight train in the open field. No one can bring him down. And he has a fresh set of downs for the Wildcats.
Great job by the Tullahoma offensive line, able to get hands on people. There's the hurdle. I'm afraid Marvancy Johnson might be entering what athletes call the flow state, a little bit of pseudoscience, but he's seeing people out of the peripherals and reacting. He's just such an impressive athlete.
They'll feed it to him again. This time, not quite as much room. Maybe gets it back to the line of scrimmage after a Bart Durham injury law first down on the last play. Fridays at 9:30 or Friday after college football. Don't miss Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. See the biggest plays and unbelievable hits. Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick gives you highlights, scores, and more for high school football games from across the Mid-State. Fridays at 9:30 or Friday after college football. Don't miss Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. Wilson Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor our local schools and student athletes, both on and off the field. Johnson again off the left side. Not much room for the second straight play. And a player down after that one. That is the tight end for Tullahoma, Jack and Lovett, the junior. We have seen some cramping during this second half. We'll take a quick break while he's getting tended to on the field. We'll be right back here from Tullahoma on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572.
I love the Zins cans in all these coaches' pockets. See that one, guys.
Broadcast of Friday Night Rivals can also be seen streaming live on mytv30web.com, Fox 17 Facebook Live, and YouTube. Brought to you by South College, where dreams find direction.
Under 10 minutes to play here in the capper of our Friday Night Rivals triple header opening weekend of the high school football season here in Middle Tennessee. Tullahoma has controlled this game, but Shelbyville was able to get a score on their last drive. A huge third down coming up. The Wildcats across midfield. It'll be 3rd and 8 as we get back to action. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid.
Spread empty set.
Lucas Reed takes the snap. Pressure comes up the middle. He gets into the open field. Reed still on his feet, and he's got the first down and more inside the 25. Lucas Reed with a big flex as he muscles his way for another first down.
Good to see the energy still out there late in this fourth quarter. Lucas Reed can't let Johnson get all the work. Finds the perfect gap to step up into. Keeps his eyes down the field, feet churning, protecting the football too. Great work.
Yeah, Lucas Reed did his best Marvancy Johnson impression on that play, breaking a couple of tackles. He's got the Wildcats back in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 17. Handoff Johnson, stiff arm, inside the 15, and he'll be dragged down after a gain of about 4 or 5 yards on first down.
Lucas Reed really impressing me tonight. Go ahead, Jake.
Marvancy Johnson, another nice run. But you're right, Lucas Reed, he's done everything that they've asked of him so far in this game. Second and 6. Cole comes in motion. He gets the pass. It's almost intercepted. It was Jones again. He had the pick in the first half, and if he had held on, I don't think anyone was catching it.
Sure is one of those ones you want to have back. You can see the visible frustration just off of the left hand, something you always joke around with your buddies that are on defense. There's a reason you play defense. But it was right on the tip of his fingers.
Chandler Jones almost had a pick six. He'd still be running. Johnson sidesteps, has room, gets inside the 5. It's another first down. As Marvancy Johnson, you have to make sure he's on the ground. He breaks tackles, he makes moves, and now Tullahoma will have 1st and goal.
And
let's send it down to Sammy Kincaid, who has an update on the Shelbyville sideline.
Hey guys, I was over there right after that Shelbyville touchdown and 2-point conversion, and the big takeaway from that side is it's quiet, but it's not quiet because they're discouraged. It's quiet because they're focused, as the message is they still have time. The players are coaching each other up. The communication on the sidelines is dialed in, while the coaches, they're actually focusing on being extremely frustrated by some missed fouls. But there's a big call for you guys right there.
Marvancy Johnson holding up the 4. He's gotten the end zone 4 times tonight. Another South College touchdown. South College, where dreams find direction. Marvancy Johnson has been about as unstoppable as you can be, and that makes it a 3-score game once again for the Wildcats.
Lining up behind the quarterback, getting an extra step in. Marvancy Johnson, the only one finishing in the end zone from the offensive side of the football, but he's the only one you need.
They will try the extra point this time. That one looked better from Chase Dodson. He had a couple that barely snuck over the crossbar. Makes it an 18-point game, and Marvancy Johnson has stolen the show tonight. 3 on the ground, 1 in the air. Wildcats in control.
everybody watching at home, I know you can hear us. This is the After Hours show with Jake and Bruno.
Guess we still have to keep it FCC safe.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Thank you. You too. Clean game, everybody. Baby Shark plays in the background.
The Wildcats back up by 3 scores. All of their touchdowns today from that man, number 22, Marvancy Johnson. 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 through the air, and the Wildcats in control, up 18 on Shelbyville as we head down the stretch in Game 3 of our triple header this weekend. Be sure to join My TV 30 Sports next Friday at 7 o'clock as our Friday Night Rivals regular season coverage continues with a battle in Brentwood. Brentwood Academy Eagles facing off against the Bruins of Brentwood right here on My TV 30. Bruno, that should be a fun one. Rivalry matchup early on in the season.
Absolutely. 2 very good teams, a lot of history. I'm excited. At Brentwood, we always go up on the roof, too. We'll embrace the elements as talkers.
I do think it's supposed to be nice and cool for the next week or so, at least you won't be out there in the heat. Knock on wood up here in the booth. Marvancy Johnson into the end zone for the 4th time today. What a way to start his senior season. Got in from 4 yards there. The most impressive play of the drive was the one before that. 3rd down conversion got them down to the 4. He cashed in on the very next snap. Tullahoma maybe a stop or 2 away from closing this out. And you give credit to Marvancy Johnson, got to give credit to the offensive line too.
I saw someone trying to pull him away, and let the big boys have fun.
Hey,
let them get some camera time.
Those are the 2 starting guards for Tullahoma right there, and they have certainly cleared some holes for Marvancy Johnson. Another Greenway key at kickoff. Dodson sent it into the end zone. Cyan Rucker tried to take it back, but he was in the end zone. So Shelbyville starts at the 20, and this is do or die time for the Golden Eagles. You need points, and you need them fast if you're going to get back into this game.
Absolutely. Any turnover, any change of possession at this point without affecting the scoreboard, it's going to effectively take them to a less than 1% chance of victory.
And a win here from Tullahoma would snap a 2-game losing streak to their rival. Shelbyville, the region champs the last 2 years. Throw from Bobo offline to start the drive. Tullahoma's last win was to open the season back in 2022. They won 16-7. It's been an evenly played series over the last 15 years or so. Over the last 14 games, each team has won 7. Flag down on that play. Tullahoma head coach Coy Sisk looking for his 2nd win against Shelbyville.
Penalty from the previous spot. The result is
So holding on Tullahoma will move Shelbyville up 10 yards. Break there for the Golden Eagles. Just over 8 minutes to go. They're down 18. Handoff, Mathis off the right side, and not much room. He's strung out, gains maybe 2 on 1st down.
Shelbyville they can't just score once, they have to score a lot. And anytime they rush the football, it's precious time off the clock. So at certain points, a lot of teams will shift into 2-minute mode, obviously outside of the 2-minute situation when you need back-to-back and you need guaranteed explosive plays. Bobo capable of spreading out the field. We'll see what Shelbyville starts to call.
Bobo has made some nice running plays in this game. There he's set, throws, finds Condit over the middle, and that's another 1st down for Shelbyville. They're up to the 46-yard line.
The slow march onto the line of scrimmage. Got to get lined up quick and get going. Can even get Tullahoma off guard on defense if they operate quick enough.
We've seen the explosive playability out of Shelbyville. They'll need a lot of them in these final 7.5 minutes to try and make a comeback. Bobo fakes the handoff, nowhere to go with it. Throws off his back foot. Diving attempt on the sideline, but nobody home. I believe that's Rager Edwards down over there who tried to make the diving catch. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Edwards able to log roll off the field to deal with the cramps.
Seen a lot of cramping late, and even though it may not be as hot as it could be tonight, it still is warm out there. First game of the season. These players still getting adjusted. 2nd and 10. Bobo all alone. Rolls out looking deep, looking for Condit again. He overshot him, and it's intercepted. Picked off that time by Julian Cole. The wide receiver, great ball skills there. He catches it over the shoulder and takes it right back for Tullahoma.
It's an unfortunate position for Bobo from the macro sense of the game, where he has to he has to air it out into double coverage, even perhaps triple. And just a great play, great interception by Tullahoma.
Julian Cole showing the ball to the student section. Sure, he has plenty of friends standing there front row. And Cole makes the pick. 2nd interception for Bobo today. And Tullahoma now gets to work on churning this clock. Handoff. That is not Marvancy Johnson. It's Dominic Harris, and he's got room. Harris putting on the afterburners. He will get tripped up. Zion Rucker, the freshman, takes away a touchdown. Dominic Harris, the junior, giving Marvancy Johnson a breather. He goes for 62 yards on the first play of the drive.
This is a great job by Harris. It looked like he lined up half a yard too far away from Reed for the handoff, and I think that half a yard was all the difference there between 6 and not. Come on, youngin, get there. Great run by Harris.
Harris gets caught from behind, but continues what has been a phenomenal running night for the Wildcats. Johnson well over 100 yards and a long run from Harris. He'll get it again here. This one will be stopped a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. 3-yard gain on the play, and Tullahoma happy to see those seconds ticking off the clock.
Especially those Tullahoma offensive linemen. Listen, when you're at a point of victory, I'm looking up at that clock just hoping I'll blink and it'll go away.
Tullahoma in control of this game. Shelbyville had the 4th down conversion touchdown to Robert Bailey from Bobo that got the Golden Eagles at least a fighting chance, but Tullahoma slamming the door here late. Reed taking it himself, but 2 Golden Eagles right there to make this stop. Chandler Jones, Ellington Scott in there. No gain on the play.
See Tullahoma substituting a lot of people in. If you're Reed and you're still in there, just make sure if you're going to take the football in this time of the game, 5 minutes left, you have a very sizable lead. Do not get injured. Do not do anything silly.
Reed in the shotgun. Gabriel DeLauder, the sophomore, is to his left. Taking towards 5 minutes to play and some movement before the snap.
Look like some of the new players maybe not adjusting to the call. Looked like Reed was waiting for a motion.
It's a false start on Tullahoma. That'll back them up. It'll be 3rd and long. We've seen a good amount of pre-snap penalties today, which is not unexpected early in the season. You're going to see some of those procedural issues as these teams get back out on the field for a real game for the first time in 9 months. Tullahoma now with a 3rd and 12. They'll toss it out to DeLauder. He found some room back to the left side, and then he is rolled down. I think that was Whitelow who made the stop. 4th down coming up, and the field goal unit coming on. And it'll be a new kicker for Tullahoma. Aiden Walker, the junior, kicking in place of Chase Dodson. So we'll get to see Walker give it a try. Kicking from 28 yards in the middle of the field. Snap, hold, kick right down the middle. Almost hit our camera. And Tullahoma makes it a 3-touchdown game, 35-14 with 4 minutes left to play. Tullahoma counting down the seconds to a rivalry win to start off their season. And really, it's been all Wildcats for most of this game, Bruno. Shelbyville had their moments where they had chances to get back in this game, but have to give credit to Coy Sisk. He had his guys ready to play for week 1.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Sisk, I'm not just happy that we won, but you got to remember the position that both these teams were in. There was a lot of miscommunication back and forth. It was just a rough first and second quarter, basically first half for both of these teams. But Tullahoma really came back, and they look much more polished in the second half, which is a very impressive thing to do at this stage in your season. Just game number 1, and you're already improving this much.
Been a fun night. The Tullahoma fans who have come out, they are fired up. Looks like they'll get to 1-0 on the season. We've had a blast too. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid. We'd also like to take a moment to thank the folks at Wilson Bank and Trust for tonight's financial tips. Chase Dodson did not kick the PATs out there to kick this one off. Tullahoma likely one stop away from being able to run out the rest of the time in this one. Wildcats led 10-6 at halftime, and it has been Marvancy Johnson over and over again to get them out to this lead. 4 touchdowns for the senior running back today. Here's another Greenway Kia kickoff. This one short of the end zone. It's bobbled by Mathis. He picks it up at the 10. And met just shy of the 20. Tullahoma has consistently won the field position game today. And once again, Shelbyville inside the 20. Here's tonight's Tennessee Army National Guard play of the game. Bruno, feel like there was really no doubt. Marvancy Johnson on this screen pass, able to take it 54 yards for a touchdown.
My favorite thing about this play is, yes, it's Marvancy Johnson's play, it's his score, but watch all the black jerseys going down the sideline, all the screens. Team effort. And Marvancy Johnson, the MVP, getting up, and there's something about him. He's going to celebrate. This was late in the game. Everyone's legs are gone, but Tullahoma finally getting back in this rivalry series.
Yeah, you mentioned the beast quake from Marshawn Lynch. Marvancy Johnson putting his own hat in the ring for best bruising run we've seen in a long time. That was the Tennessee Army National Guard play of the game. A penalty on Tullahoma has moved the ball forward. I believe another one. I think maybe Coy Sisk just got called for a sideline warning there. So instead of starting at the 18-yard line, it'll be the 38 for Shelbyville, and Cyan Rucker, the freshman, is in there again at quarterback. Hands off to Mathis. He's got room up the right side and up towards midfield. Mathis, the sophomore, the 2 underclassmen in the backfield now, combined for a nice play to start the drive.
You don't want to talk about moral victories, you want to talk about, but if you're a youngin' and you're always, you're waiting for your chance to play, and some people will call this time garbage time, right? If I'm one of those 2 young men, this is my time to shine, and the effort's going to be 100%.
Good development time for these players, and you look at this team for Shelbyville. Stephen Bobo's only a junior, so he'll have another year, but Robert Bailey's a senior. They have to build up this depth behind him. And I would think for Coach Dryden, he sees Cyan Rucker and Torian Mathis as a key duo for this team moving forward. Rucker completes the pass out to the near side, and a nice catch and run still going. There's a flag down on the field. John Streeter, the senior, taking the screen pass and getting up across the 40. We'll see what the laundry is.
Don't have a beat yet on what this penalty could be. I thought there might have been a potential helmet touch or face mask, but there's a conversation on where exactly it happened. Still waiting on the official call.
They're pointing at where the play ended, which was the 39, and where the flag was dropped at the 41. I think deciding where this penalty will go from. And it looks like it was a holding call at the end of the play, so they'll move it back 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which gets you right back to where we started. It'll be 1st and 10 again. Just over 3 minutes left to play. Tullahoma, a commanding lead. Rucker, same play, opposite side, airmails Edwards. 2nd and 10, let's send it down to the sideline. Sammy Kincaid, our 3rd member of our crew.
Hey guys, on the Tullahoma side, there's 2 legacy jerseys being worn tonight by 2 young men that have made a large impact in the game. Number 66 and number 8. They're being worn for Jason Few and Eli Groh. Both young men tragically lost their lives while playing for Tullahoma. Jason, who wore number 66, he passed away in 1988, and his jersey number is worn this year by Elijah Horton. And Eli Groh, he always dreamed of being a quarterback and was only a couple weeks away from graduating and going off onto college on a scholarship to play quarterback, and he was taken too soon by a car accident in 2016. His number 8 jersey is worn by Alex Bobo. Both players their mentality and work ethic modeled the young men they are representing tonight, and they have done those numbers justice with their performance on the field tonight.
Thank you, Sammy. Yeah, phenomenal way to remember and honor those 2 players, Eli Groh and Jason Few. And Coach Sisk very pleased with the way that Alex Bobo and Elijah Horton embody those players. We had a fumble on the play, so Tullahoma takes it back. They'll have 2 minutes and 47 seconds left to run off here, leading by 21. While we have a chance, let's take a look at the school bus stop of the game presented by NHTSA. Always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Not stopping or trying to beat the stop arm puts lives at risk and can result in large fines, points on your license, and license suspension, paid for by NHTSA.
This is the school bus stop of the game presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
And here was the stop of the game. Tullahoma had a chance to go up by 3 scores late in the first half, but it was Chandler Jones dropping back and making a huge pick that led to a touchdown on the other end.
The school bus stop of the game presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Great play from Chandler Jones there. Really changed the tide for a moment, but Tullahoma has done a nice job. Ticking down towards 2 minutes left. It'll be a 3rd down here for Tullahoma. They've got the backups in. We've already seen Patrick Riddle and Dominic Harris today. Harris had the long 60-plus yard run on the last drive. Flag flies ahead of the snap.
You're going to start seeing some penalties like I haven't been out here before, and I'm just so eager and I'm so ready to go. And now it's going to take away the pace of the game a little bit.
Just chomping at the bit to get going. That'll make it 3rd and 13. 1:44 to go. Tullahoma can run this down close to the end of the game. May have to punt it back to Shelbyville, but pretty much in the bag. Been a great game for Tullahoma so far. The huddle took place about 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage there.
Some things just never change. Some things truly never change. Because you can practice as much as they can, but
right.
When these kids get out there for their first time on a real varsity field, it feels like they might as well be playing at South Bend.
Handoff. Harris pushes the pile for a couple yards, but that'll bring up 4th down. Clock under 90 seconds to go. Tullahoma going to move to 1-0 on the season. Again, snapping a 2-game losing streak to their crosstown rival, Shelbyville Central, who had not lost to Tullahoma since August of 2022. Tullahoma will have another rivalry matchup next week against Coffee County as they get ready to punt this one away. Aiden Walker, who we've seen as the place kicker a couple times tonight, will boot it deep. Cyan Rucker back to receive. He'll be the quarterback when the offense takes the field. Rucker lets that one bounce, and it will roll into the end zone for a touchback. Under 40 seconds to play, and Shelbyville can send the offense out for one last play. And that'll wrap things up for us. Bruno, a pretty dominant performance from Tullahoma. Robert Bailey had his moments, but Marvancy Johnson stole the show today for the Wildcats.
It also seemed like Tullahoma was just more willing to rely on him and his style of football, and I think that plays a lot better for week one. Shelbyville Central did a lot of good things tonight, but Tullahoma really just ran away with it here at the end. It was a dominant second half.
Cyan Rucker in the shotgun with under 40 seconds left to play. Hands off to Mathis. Finds a hole, slips a tackle. Mathis up the far sideline, trying to outrun Tullahoma. He's inside the 40 before being dragged down. May not affect the outcome of this one, but that's some nice momentum for a young player to wrap up this game.
Number 16, Mathis. I mean, a hole that I'm a large individual, 350 pounds, and I could have ran through that hole. Mathis getting onto the sideline looked like he wanted to take it all the way across the field, but only 20 seconds left for Shelbyville, and Mathis tapping out of the game also, so we'll have another back end.
And the final seconds tick off the clock. That will do it tonight. Tullahoma behind 4 touchdowns from Marvancy Johnson takes the opener against Shelbyville, 35-14 the final. Head coach Coy Sisk with a huge win to start off his 4th season at the helm of the program. And actually, it looks like they may put some time back on the clock here. They're pushing Tullahoma back to the sideline. I think they stopped it for the injury, and yeah, they put 5 seconds back on the clock. So we will do one more.
Just make sure you got 11 guys out there picking referee where you think they should be in.
But we see it there. Mathis getting the carry, and that's a confidence builder for a young player. We haven't seen Kenzarius Garrett, the senior, and he's out there as the running back on this play. 5 seconds left. Rucker will roll out. Time runs out as Rucker weaves back to the middle. He is thrown down, and that will end the game. Tullahoma dominates the opener, 35-14. Marvancy Johnson with 4 touchdowns to lead the Wildcats to a rivalry win.
As we were going through our game, there were a few options for our player of the game. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but I have to imagine there's one individual who stood out the most that's on your screen right now.
Yeah, number 22 in black tonight was on a different level. We already showed the play of the game where he took a screen pass that didn't seem like there was a whole lot of space for him. He still found a way to take it 54 yards to the end zone. So we will see if Marvancy Johnson is going to be our player of the game. We will let you know when we come back. We'll also give you highlights. We'll present the trophy to Tullahoma. All of that coming up next here on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572.
Smooth, good, and easy, but when it starts slow and ends slow, it just feels so weird.
The middle of the game was really fun. I felt like we were in a rhythm, and then it's just like,
all right, it's over.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to feel bad. If you're joining me and Jake in the after-hour show, currently Tullahoma's team is celebrating with jumping jacks.
It's like Vandy baseball between innings.
Yeah.
Bruno and Jake after hours live from Tullahoma.
Man, they need to save the celebration for TV.
Back here in Tullahoma, the Wildcats take the rivalry win over Shelbyville 35-14. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid. Time to give away tonight's UA Local 572 Player of the Game. And no questions tonight. Marvancy Johnson, the running back from Tullahoma, scores 4 touchdowns in tonight's game, and he is today's UA Local 572 Player of the Game with this phenomenal performance tonight, Bruno.
Absolutely. It was an all-team effort, and Tullahoma's offensive line played extremely well, but Marvancy Johnson steals the show as we see that stat line. 20 rushes, 147 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he also had some all-purposes. That screen, that was our play of the game, one of the 2 receptions for 55 yards and another touchdown. Puts a stamp on his first game of the season.
200 yards from scrimmage, 4 touchdowns. That'll get you our UA Local 572 Player of the Game. UA Local 572, the premier trainer of workers in all aspects of the piping, plumbing, welding, and HVAC industry. It's now time to send it down to the field. Sammy Kincaid is with head coach Coy Sisk for tonight's trophy presentation.
Excited to get things going here on the field, and coach, a big second half for you guys to really seal this one. What was going on in the second half that worked so well?
Guys kept focused.
And you just said it, unique is what you were saying to them. What is so unique, though, about able to find a way to really power through and just play lights out in the second half?
Talk about it. Hey, they're humble.
You guys go celebrate together. How about that, coach?
A fired-up Tullahoma team after a rivalry win over Shelbyville. An awesome game. Marvancy Johnson leads the way with 4 touchdowns, and the Wildcats start their season 1-0. Jake Lyman, Bruno Reagan back up in the booth. Watching what is a fun celebration down there on the field. You can see it throughout the game. The energy was on that Tullahoma sideline. Every touchdown, every big play, they were celebrating. They end up celebrating tonight with the trophy down there on the field. And again, another rivalry matchup coming up next weekend for Tullahoma against Coffee County. Here are your final stats for tonight. Again, you see Marvancy Johnson right in the middle of it. He had the 4 touchdowns and most of those 270 rushing yards for Tullahoma. Bruno, both these teams ran the ball effectively. I think the big number there, turnovers, 3 turnovers for Shelbyville Central, really couldn't get out of their own way.
Yeah, if you're Shelbyville Central, you're going to have a knot in your stomach because, I mean, the game looks from a statistical point completely even. Now, the turnover margin, one of the most deciding factors in football, it is on Tullahoma's side, which it shows in the scoring. Also, the penalties. It was our dirtiest Week 1 game by far, but both teams did have a lot better second halves, and a lot of those were tagged in with the 2s and 3s that came in.
Tullahoma able to get the win 35-14 to wrap up our triple header on Friday Night Rivals to start off the season. Be sure to join MyTV 30 Sports next Friday at 7 o'clock as our Friday Night Rivals regular season coverage continues with the battle in Brentwood. The Brentwood Academy Eagles face the Bruins of Brentwood right here on MyTV 30. All of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful sponsor partners, the Tennessee Army National Guard, UA Local 572, and Sonic, who through their contributions to the program make these games possible for you viewers at home. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsor supporters for their contributions to our 2025 Friday Night Rivals telecast. The United States Navy, BMC Metalworks, Bart Durham Injury Law, South College, Wilson Bank and Trust, Western Kentucky University, Greenway Kia, Josh Houston and Associates, and NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued support. Shelbyville Central and our host, Tullahoma High School. For Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid, and our entire wonderful crew, I'm Jake Lyman saying good night from Tullahoma, where the Wildcats take down Shelbyville 35-14.